Hello, everyone! Thanks so much for being here with me today for your reading. I'm very excited because we have 6 piles to choose from today, so lots of different energies here. And of course, guys, you are always more than welcome to visit my videos more than one time or to choose more than one pile. I make these videos with the purpose that they are timeless so that they can help guide you at any point in your journey. But I felt really called to do a new year, new possibilities, and new blessings on the way to you. In today's reading, we are going to be looking at the energy you'll be in when this blessing comes, what blessing or blessings are coming to you. We'll look at how to align your energy or stay aligned to receive this blessing. We'll also look at timing to see when you might receive this blessing. We'll see how it'll help you and anything you need to be aware of. We will also have a portion in this reading where you can ask any yes or no question that you wish. And then, of course, we'll end off with some advice. So if that sounds like the reading for you, then I'm glad you're here. We are going to go ahead and bring out the tarot deck that we're using today, and we are going to be using the Likely Tarot because I'm pretty sure I've only used it once on this channel and I haven't used it since. And I kind of honestly forgot I had this deck, and it's so sad because it's so cute. But it's nature themed. I love it. She's great. We're just going to pull a tarot card for each pile, so for those of you who like identifiers, you can choose from that. If you just kind of know the whole shindig here and you just want to get to your reading, feel free to go to the description where I have timestamps listed. Okay, so give me a card for pile 1, Spirit. Pile 1, you guys got the Magician. Pile 2, please, Spirit. Give me a card for pile 2. And we have the 9 of Pentacles. Then, for pile 3, please, Spirit, we have the 7 of Swords. Pile 4, Spirit. You guys got the Page of Wands. Pile 5. You guys got the 10 of Pentacles. And last but not least, for pile 6, please, Spirit. And you guys got, ooh, this is actually specific, I think, to this deck. This is called the Likely Creator. Okay, so there are all your piles with the tarot card associated with each one. You can go ahead, I'm gonna leave you a little bit of time, maybe I'll drop in a little bit of music here for you to select your pile, but without further ado, that's all I have for you here. Timestamps, decks, and anything else you need to know will be listed in the description, and I'll see you at your pile. Bye, guys! Hello, pile 1. If you chose the Magician, then you've made it to the right pile. You are at pile 1. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I'm not going to waste your time because we've got a lot to get into, a lot of piles. This is going to be a long reading, so let's go ahead and get started with your oracle cards. So, representing the energy that you are going to be in when this manifestation, when this blessing comes to you, we have the Wolf. Very stunning card. I don't know, I feel like all of the cards in this deck, of course it's not going to focus, but the faces of the animals are just so telling in this deck. I really love it. And then for your actual blessing, we got the Cave. Show that to you. I won't show all of the cards we have throughout the reading because we're going to be here all day if I do that, and I don't want to waste your time. Okay, pile 1. As for the energy you'll embody when this manifestation arrives, you're showing up in this wolf energy. And I'm immediately feeling this protective energy emoting off of you. Like, even that stare, it just looks like, don't try me, don't try one of my family members. I am here to protect. I kind of feel like leading up to the wolf energy, you'll be witnessing a lot of unequal power structures that are set in place in the world. And I think you're making this realization that when another human being suffers, we all suffer. We as humans need each other to thrive. Everyone needs to feel seen. Everyone needs to feel loved. Everyone deserves food, water, a home, and safety. We all humans, we're so much more similar than we think, but our egos get in the way of seeing how much we are alike. You may be struggling yourself with trying to internalize the belief that even flawed humans can be good humans, because I sense that this group has been doing a lot of internal work, primarily focused on how you can use your gifts to serve the world. And you've probably been putting a lot of energy towards unlearning narratives that keep you stuck in ego, or just to be a better person and to do the best that you can on this earth. I think you guys would really align with that quote of be the change you want to see in the world. But going back to good humans being flawed, I think even though you may be doing the work to heal and grow right now, people around you or close to you might not. And an example coming to my mind is, say for instance, retail work or like restaurant food service work. People are mean and they will berate you with their words and they will verbally abuse you. And it's all because they're struggling with emotional regulation. And I feel like it really gets you down, or it gets to you, it cuts under the skin, because you care a lot about these people, especially if it's your family members or your friends, or gosh forbid, maybe it's even like your relationship partner and they've turned into someone like you don't even recognize. You care deeply about humanity as a whole, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But there does come a point where we have to let others live their own path, and we have to let them follow their journey and make mistakes, and maybe their path doesn't look the same as yours. And it's really hard to let go and trust that spirit is leading others to what is best for them. But it's also harder to keep holding on to, or to keep holding other people to expectations that at this point in their journey they are incapable of comprehending. Because you will be disappointed time and time again when you place these expectations on these people, because they won't change unless they want to change. And I know that's hard to hear, but it's the truth. It's also not fair to get upset at others for not choosing a path you think would be best for them. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but that's a message coming through. And I know I've been there before. I run into situations like that all the time where I'm like, oh, if only they did this, then they would feel so much better. But then I have to remind myself, Mellow Yellow, you've had a completely different journey than this person, and maybe doing tarot and self-help works for you, but this other person, it might not. Maybe it would make them spiral, and it's good that they're not pursuing that, And that's just kind of like what I'm trying to say there. But anyway, I also think there are people in your lives who might actually, like, you could be on the money. They could actually do better in life if they did what you wish these people would do. But the thing is they're not ready. And spiritually, they may need to follow other paths and learn other lessons in order to even be at a place where they could accept the love or the path that you want to offer them. But here's the thing, Pile 1, because I know that was kind of like, I don't know, but your stuff is the good stuff. Your work, your love, your creativity, your ideas and thoughts are all enough. And you are meant to be a leader. You are so right to want to look out for those who need help. And I really do think you might be taking on some sort of activism role or teaching position where you can express yourself to people who do want to learn from you and who do want to grow with you. What's coming to mind right now is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And I think you'll really be understanding that by the time this blessing comes in. Because let's talk about your blessing, okay? Or blessings, because you guys definitely have more than one here coming to you. One of the blessings is an awakening of the heart and a love for self. Because as your love for yourself has grown, it's also grown for the collective, and vice versa. And it's almost like you're having a dramatic movie sequence, so to say. This is, okay, bear with me, guys. We're gonna talk about the movie Bridesmaids, because this is a perfect example. If you haven't seen it, maybe you should watch it. I think maybe you'll resonate with that movie if you resonate with this pile. But, okay. In Bridesmaids, Annie, the best friend to Lillian, who is getting married, they have like a major friend breakup. And Annie falls into a pretty deep depression because of it. And of course, she also has some love interest issues, because it wouldn't be a rom-com / friend-com, without love. There's a sequence in the movie where Annie gets a pep talk from Megan, which is another like friend of the mutuals, and she starts slowly improving her life by focusing on what she can control and giving love to the people who want her love, like her mom. And this really sets her up for the reunion at the end of the movie, where everyone is back together again. And, during this sequence, Annie returns to baking. She starts baking again, which really is the thing that makes her feel like herself. And I feel like that's one of the blessings coming to you. A return to self, a return to the things that once filled your cup up. Also, coming out of a depression, because you're reminded of the things that matter. Some of you, of course, only take it if it resonates, are realizing that the people you called soul family, or the people you wanted to protect and help, really wouldn't do the same for you. And I almost feel relief saying this, which is kind of weird, because it's like you can finally release yourself of the responsibility you've been holding to them. Sometimes people are spiraling so hard that they'll take us with them if we don't set boundaries. And that's not only talking about mental health. Some people get into the wrong crowd of people, and we can be involved by association. Sometimes people are walking down a path of elevated ego and lack of remorse, and there's nothing we can do to really stop people once they're on a fast track. And that's when we have to let go. And I think you might be finding something out or experiencing a straw that breaks the camel's back here. And after that, you're literally gonna skyrocket. You can't see my hands. You're gonna skyrocket. Wait, hold on. You still can't. Skyrocket! With the amount of energy and happiness you're gonna have. You've been really worn down by the people you're holding on to. And it's time to realize you deserve better. Because the life you will have once you let go is a blessing. And it's totally understandable to be scared of isolation and loneliness. But for once, I think this isolation will bring you a sense of peace that you haven't felt in a long time. And this might be the first time in a really long time, or maybe even ever, that you're like, oh my God, I feel really good being alone. I don't want to be around anyone. You're finding a sense of safety and security, knowing that you are standing up for what's right and taking care of you. A confidence is growing inside of you, Pile 1. A confidence that is going to be unshakable. A confidence that will help yourself never experience the lowest points you've been at ever again. A confidence based in freedom and love. So, if that sounds like a blessing that is right up your alley, or that you want to hear more about, then stick around. We're going to go into tarot portion, and I'm just going to move these up here so they're kind of like out of the way. Okay. That was a long spiel, but very exciting. Of course, you guys know I love reading comments, so feel free to comment and tell me if this is resonating. I would love to know what is going on in your life, and if you are going through a friendship breakup, because that I feel can sometimes be harder than any sort of romantic breakup, because friends just hit a little deeper, guys. Do you know where I'm coming from? Okay. Tarot. Okay, Spirit. How can Pile pile 1, align their energy or stay aligned to receive this blessing. Okay, well, and I will take uprights and reversals this time. So we have the Empress reversed and Death reversed. I'm going to put it like this so we have a little more room. Then we're going to do a timing message. Spirit, when will pile 1 receive this blessing? Okay. We got 2 again. We have the Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant. 2 little beavers. Look at that. Super cute. And we're also going to grab some Astro Dice, my little mason jar here. Let's see. I'm going to pull... This is planets, so planet spirit for timing. We've got the moon, and then let's see. House/numbers. Got 11. And am I missing? Oh, no, I'm not. And signs, please, spirit. And okay, Capricorn. Okay. So, some of you are literally, this blessing is coming to you right now. Like, right when I upload this video, because we just had our Capricorn new moon on the 11th of January. And right now, let me see if I can show you. Hold on. It's January 13th right now. So I had a slow start of getting this video done because there's a lot that I've been researching just to do a better pile for you guys. But yeah, this could be happening right now, or it could be in 11 days, maybe in 11 months, 11 weeks during Capricorn season, or when the moon is in Capricorn, if the moon is in Capricorn on the 11th of maybe future months. But I do get the sense that January is going to be a huge month for you, and this blessing could very well come in this month for you, or very soon. So, let's see. Also, how will this blessing help pile 1? Okay, we've got the Knight of Cups. And is there anything else to be aware of with this blessing, Spirit? Okay. And we actually got the 2 of Cups reversed. Okay. Let's digest this, shall we? So, as far as how you can stay aligned or align your energy to receive this blessing, you guys are limiting yourself. You are letting... How can I say this? Because this is a difficult energy to get out of, but once you recognize and act with awareness of what's going on, I think it's going to be so easy for you to get out of this cycle and make the switch. But some of you are struggling with letting other people around you... How do I say this? You're letting other people keep you small because you want to keep these people around. You are still, or if you're struggling with thinking of going back to these people, I think Spirit is saying, like, you made the right decision to walk away. You might not see that it was the right decision right now, but going back to this situation, or if you're still in the middle of this situation, it's time to put you first. And it's time to put up some serious boundaries and to listen to your internal voice and to pay attention to how you feel with the people you're around, how you feel when you have to go to a workplace every day, how you feel when certain people say certain things about you. Start living through observance right now. Don't be... I know you have this very protective energy, and I'm sure that comes with a want to share and, like we kind of said, teach and talk and all of those things, which is such a beautiful quality. But I think it's almost a waste of energy, of your precious energy, to try and convince these people why you're right, or why you're not a bad person for setting boundaries, or like, people are going to believe what they're going to believe, especially if they are, like, stuck in their ego or they're going through a hard time. It is so much easier to point the finger at someone else and say they're being mean, they're the problem, especially when that problem is setting boundaries and demanding respect and mutual affection. And anytime that you're struggling with a hit to your confidence, a hit to your self-esteem, feeling unempowered, feeling like you can't make new friends, feeling like you're the one left out, it's all, I don't want to say facade, because like those feelings that you're feeling are very real, and I know how painful they can be, but I think a better way of saying this is there are so many people out there in the world who are going to love you and who want to show up for you. And these people who can't see how beautiful, like, you're the freaking empress, but it's reversed right now because people around you have made you feel like you're not. It's almost like you are Princess Diane and the entire royal family are all these people around you, and they just hate you because they ain't you, because they see the power inside of you, because they see that you're a kind soul, that you're smart, that you are powerful, that you are hardworking. You have the whole package. You are the empress. And they're threatened by that. It's not because you're not a good friend. It's not because if you did your hair a different way, or if you said the perfect string of words. I've seen people, I'm autistic, and I look at other autistics' content, and I've seen people talk about how when they were younger, they thought they could just like say the exact string of words to make someone be their best friend. And I did that too, and maybe you guys did that too, and it's like, you should want to be around people who want to be around people, or who want to be around you because they see you and they appreciate you. You shouldn't want to be around people who want you to change or want you to meet some superficial materialistic standard before they'll even talk to you. Like that is not the energy that you need or want in your life. It's not healthy. And I think the only thing that could really hold you back right now is feeling like you made a mistake, feeling like you needed to go back there, or limiting your own power because you feel like you made a mistake, or you feel bad about putting up boundaries with these people. Don't feel bad for putting up boundaries. That is not something you should be upset about. But definitely, I think a primary focus on self-care and being your own best friend. Even if you're not sure if what you did was okay, I feel like it's a lot healthier to just believe in your own truth. Don't let other people tell you what happened. Believe in your own truth. Believe in your own experiences. The Hierophant here, we already talked about the Capricorn new moon, so some of you guys, whatever work you did on the Capricorn new moon, if you did any sort of releasing, or I don't think you're supposed to necessarily manifest on a new moon. Maybe you are. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I'm still learning with astrology, but whatever you were doing around that new moon in Capricorn time could be significant to this journey. And I say that because we have the Hierophant here. And when the Hierophant comes out, if it's the Hierophant, sorry, I'm burping a lot. If it's the Hierophant, the High Priestess, or I'm trying to think, some other card, that's when I know, like, it's divine time, and there's not really something you can necessarily do right now other than keep working on your talents. In all honesty, bringing in this blessing is a given. It's divine timed. It's something coming from spirit. This is something that you deserve, that you've worked hard for. This isn't like you could fall off the path and you'll never receive this. Like, this is something that will come to you guys. But it's just gonna take some time. And it's gonna take, I think, some effort of, especially if you're in that depression, finding something, even if it's one small thing that you can do from your bed every day, something that just gets your mind off of social media, gets your mind off of the stresses in everyday life, and just puts you in the present moment, in a present activity that you can focus your energy on. because I think you're just you're very confused by other people's energy and actions towards you right now. And I think some isolation will really, really do you well. And you might also discover some talents that you didn't know you had while you're in this isolation. And you're kind of going to be like, well, now I don't really want to go hang out with anyone because I'm having so much fun learning this new skill, you know? But I think it's just important for you to know that this is a given. This empowerment is coming to you for sure. It's not gonna come. You are on the right path. You are doing everything right now. The Knight of Cups. How will this help you? This is definitely going to help you in your relationships in the future. And I also think you're going to be able to have a better judgment of who is right for you and who isn't. I feel like you've had so much protective energy on everyone else, and now you're putting that protective energy onto you, and you now might be the one who's a little bit more shy, a little bit more reserved, who might not always be at the functions, you know? You are making it a priority to prioritize yourself and your health and your wealth and your well-being, and this is only going to make you a better partnership, not only for love relationships, but also you're going to have a clearer, stronger character in mind to be able to handle business relations, to be able to assert yourself in the workplace, in friendships. You're going to be able to stand up for yourself, and you're going to be able to walk away when you realize the same patterns in people that this past group has, and you're going to say, no, I've realized that is not healthy for me. I'm going to go find something that fills my cup. And I think this will open your heart chakra, and you will have more love for human beings. Even if you think, I already love everyone, how can I have even more expansion? And Spirit is like, just wait, because you will. Because there is just infinite love to receive and give in this universe. But we tend to close ourselves off from it, and we tend to feel like we're not deserving of it. And once you feel and you know deep down that all humans are deserving of love, all humans are deserving of kindness and respect, it doesn't become an ego thing, it becomes a love thing. Because to show other people love is to show yourself love. And I'm just really excited for this group to have relationships in their life that actually fill them up, that actually make them feel like they're wanted. And I wouldn't be surprised if you go through a huge glow up. Like, and this doesn't have to mean like physically, it could be physically, but just energetically and in life, I feel like you guys are going to go through a huge glow up because you're finally going to be fed the love that you deserve. And when you're around the right people, you can tell when people are glowing. Like, have you seen when two people who are just so perfect for each other, when they finally meet and they get together, like, they just glow differently because it's love. Love is feeding the soul. And you're going to be fed. You're not going to go hungry anymore. And that will only encourage you to feed others. With anything to be aware of in the Two of Cups reversed. The love that you lost is not lost because it's inside of you. It might not be in your 3D reality, but it's never a mistake to love someone or to love people. Even if they're not healthy for us, it's never a mistake to show someone kindness and to be vulnerable and to give someone a chance. And I hope you know to not blame yourself for how past relationships have panned out. Can we take accountability for our own actions in those situations? Yes. But it's just kind of a way of life right now. I think a lot of people, especially with the internet just as big as it is, I feel like now more than ever it's harder for people to actually understand who they are and what they want and what makes them feel loved and how they want to show up in the world. And we're all just we're trying our best, and even when we make mistakes, like, we're still trying our best. But you can't keep trying for people who won't maintain their end of the bargain. Like, I think a main message coming through, what you need to be aware of is you are not selfish. You are absolutely not selfish for walking away from people who didn't keep up their end of the bargains, or who couldn't keep their promises, who couldn't show up for you, even if they're going through a hard time. And I know this because I lost a lot of my friendships when my mom died, because I couldn't show up for anyone. I needed people to show up for me. I wasn't a good friend. And when people left my life, did it fucking suck? Yes, it hurt a lot, because I couldn't understand, but also they were children themselves. So, I've learned and I practice compassion, but you're not selfish, because just like me losing the people I needed at the time, they were children. They didn't know what to do, and I can't blame them for that. And I think you can't blame yourself for not knowing what else to do, or not having anything else to give, and to put in the towel about this person or this group of people. Or, I really hope you made the right decision for yourself, and that's all Spirit wants and can ask from you. And yeah, okay, sorry guys, it cut out there, but essentially what I was saying here was, you can't blame yourself for not knowing what else to do, not having anything else to give to this person or this group of people. I feel like you've been dealing with a lot of takers and not a lot of givers. And it's time for you to experience giving. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the yes or no portion of the reading. Go ahead and think of a question, a yes or no question that you want clarity on or guidance to, and I will try my diggity dang best. Okay, I'm just going to do one more shuffle. Keep that question in your mind's eye. Maybe say it out loud. Okay. Spirit, how do I even ask this? Yes or no to pile one's question. What is the answer to pile one's question? Okay, we got the Four of Swords. I'm going to take this as a maybe. Because I think it's a not right now. I think that's what's being said right here. I think it's because there is some sort of healing or isolation period that needs to happen for your own growth, or for this other person's growth, whatever the situation is. The timing just isn't on the money right now, but I do feel like it could happen in the future. This could turn into a yes very easily if the proper healing work and internal growth is done. So I hope that answered your question. Let's go ahead and get into our final advice. We're gonna whip out the tea leaf oracle, and I'm just gonna reach in here and see what comes out. So what wants to come out? Just mixing. Okay, that's a lot. I'm gonna take the ones that didn't flip over. Let's do that. Okay, so we have Inkpot, problems to be resolved. Then we have Shield, you need to defend yourself. Yeah, we've talked about that. Mountain Road, you are on the road to success. Yes, talked about that too. And then Mountain, major challenge to overcome. Wow, interesting. So yeah, there could be some roadblocks coming in the near future, but I think it's all for your growth. It's all for your success, and you made the right decision defending yourself against these people, blocking yourself from these people, resolving the problems there. I want to see, what is this major challenge? What is this major challenge for pile 1? Okay. So, we've got the Four of Wands, the Ten of Swords reversed, and Strength. I think this is talking about healing from maybe a betrayal. Maybe this is a relationship partner. Maybe there's if you've been married in the past, or if you had a very strong connection with someone in the past that ended in betrayal, I think you're going to be having a lot of those energies pop up a lot. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into final advice, and we're going to be using my spirit deck that I made a while ago. Oh, you can't even see the cards that came out. Let me just... boop. Okay, so, Spirit, final closing advice for pile 1. What is pile 1? Okay, maybe one more. Cool. Okay. Birds of a feather flock together. Orca, do not fear anything or anyone right now. Trust your intuition to find soul family members. Release the blocks so I may be free. We have 11. Alignment with your manifestation is happening. You are on the right path. Yeah, you guys are, you're on the right path. And then I choose what is best for all of humanity. Okay. Pile 1, thanks so much for being here with me today for this reading. I hope that all resonated. If it did, feel free to give me a like, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you join the Meliel Tarot family for future videos in the future, of course. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for you. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed good morning, good evening, and good night. Bye, Pile 1. Hello, Pile 2. Thanks so much for being here. Cricket wanted to help me with the intro there for a second. Anyway, hi, Pile 2. If you chose the Nine of Pentacles, then that's how you know you made it to the right reading. You're at Pile 2, and no, a cat won't be doing your reading for you, sadly. I wish a cat was doing a reading for me too, but that's not gonna happen, unfortunately. I hope you're doing well today. I'm in a little silly, goofy mood with you guys. This is the best part. Little side tangent before we get into your cards. This is the best part about being a tarot reader, is energetically getting to meet everyone's spirit guides and interact with everyone's souls, but also like feeling everyone's energy, and that comes with good and bad, especially when people are in really heavy energies. But this energy, you guys got me feeling good. Either you're feeling good right now, or your soul just has this stuff. You got me feeling good, whoever you are. Thanks for being here. Anyway, go ahead, grab a little sippy. I got some coffee. And let's go ahead and spread out your tarot. So, this card is going to represent the energy that you will be in when you receive this blessing. And we have the eagle. Beautiful. And then, for your blessing, if I can pick it up, blah, 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 we have the empty room. Okay, let's chat about this, why don't we? Also, strap in for a long reading, because I just know that these piles are going to be long today. I kind of want to explain the energy you're either experiencing or will experience leading up to the eagle. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the eagle and blessing, blah, blah, blah. But pile 2. Whoever chose this pile has in some way, shape, or form forgotten the power you hold inside. And because the eagle represents both fire and air energies, I think you've been made to forget how strong and important your ideas, thoughts, and communication is to the world, as well as being made to forget that you are a king, you are a queen, you are a boss babe, and that you do know... Oh, hello? Child? I'm in the middle of a reading. Anyway... You do know what you're doing. I do get a strong feeling that the people in this group have a lot to bring to the collective, in the sense of fresh ideas and inspired change This group could have easily been silenced while they were growing up, and I think it's because people who were or are still in power around you, sorry, my cat has a new toy, they knew that your brilliant ideas shot holes in the cages that they tried to keep in place around you, around others, and it was for power and control. I don't think this group was easily controlled growing up by any means. You might have been mislabeled as a bad kid or defiant, but it was literally because you refused to submit or worship the ground that these people walked on. And the thing is, eagle energy is constantly evolving and transforming. And I feel like a lot of people in this group might have grown up or are growing up a lot quicker than those around you. And that can almost put us back, or put us into a black sheep energy. I think people talk a lot about the fear of being left behind, but can we talk for a second about growing into isolation? Because that stuff sucks. When you see people's mindsets shift into something toxic and there's nothing you can do, when people become so different from you that it doesn't even feel like you know them, or sometimes it can feel like you don't even know yourself and you're having to walk away and move forward into a future that we can't predict, and that is terrifying. Especially if you're like me and relationships mean a whole heck of a lot to you. Sometimes we'll be growing in the right direction, but other people will try to make us feel like we're actually the ones in the wrong. And an example coming to my mind is, this is random and weird, but just bear with me. Imagine Bob and Sandra, these are imaginary people. Imagine Bob and Sandra became friends because they both have an obsession with mangoes. And every Saturday they get together to eat their mangoes, talk about mangoes, watch mangoes, and they formed a really strong bond through their shared interest or passion. Now imagine Sandra went to the doctor and they told her that she needed to stop eating mangoes because, like, let's say in this imaginary timeline, mangoes are actually poisonous and it was making her sick. Sandra would then go to Bob and immediately explain why they should both stop because it's making them sick. Bob, in this example, would actually get mad at Sandra for letting him know that mangoes are poisonous, and he'd maybe even go as far as cutting Sandra out and start like a mango eating group with new people so they can keep eating mangoes, and Bob refuses to see that mangoes are destructive to him and others, and he makes Sandra out to be the bad guy and tries to turn others against her, even though Sandra was actually trying to help. But it's not like Sandra is going to sit around and still eat mangoes every weekend to try and keep her friends. Of course she's not, because it's poisonous. But it's still important to know Sandra didn't do anything wrong. But until her friends choose to listen and realize mangoes are poisonous, Sandra might feel left out and might even feel ostracized. And I'm telling you all of this, Pile 2, because it's important to know that even if you don't have the majority on your side, you can still be in the right. Sometimes it takes months, years, even decades of being looked at as wrong for people to realize their own perspective was what was wrong, not everyone else. Now, not everyone will be like this, but it is human nature to want to believe that we are always right, confirmation bias, and I think this group has felt a loss of personal power when this blessing comes in, and it's because people aren't willing to change, and it's really not about you. Whoever and whatever this situation is, Spirit wants you to know the period of being left out wasn't about you. It was about how others felt about themselves. Your existence and ideas threatened someone, and they tried to make you take a seat, and I say tried to because your blessing, Pile 2, is a whole lot of karma for these people who turn their back on you. Among other things, but let's explain. And I do want to say, I don't want to say karma as in, these people are going down, you're going to watch their downfall. But I think they won't have access to you like they did in the past. And that is what's going to be the karma, but let's talk, okay? Because we have the empty room for your blessing. And some of you, I can tell, are kind of like, huh? Huh? How is this card a blessing? And I would say it kind of stumped me too until I saw a different perspective. When you have nothing, it's kind of the same as having everything because you have infinite potential of what can come to you and also what direction you want to move towards. And I do feel that with this comes a wave of clarity over why you had to go through situations and a forgiveness of those who've wronged you, because the empty room talks about living with a lack mentality despite having everything. And I think this is Spirit's way of saying whatever you lost, you didn't really lose, because there's infinitely more possibilities, more things to grasp a hold of right in front of you. I feel like you've just been plagued by this emptiness that has really left you feeling like a shell of a person, and Spirit is coming through to say, this period is over. You're going to regain your power. You will step back into your Emperor, Empress, Magician energy, and your energy levels are about to skyrocket. Even if things seem like they're crashing around you, you will be blessed with a can-do attitude and a reignited spark for life. And you're getting your fight back after being pushed down or held down and silenced, pile 2. I'm excited to learn more in your tarot portion and see what else we can say about this energy. I do want to say you might want to choose another pile here because I think a renewed sense of energy will spark you to take inspired action that is going to bring in even more blessings. So definitely check out other piles if you feel called to. But without further ado, I think we should get into the tarot portion of your reading. So, I hope you're doing well. I hope this is resonating. If it is, feel free to comment and let me know what resonates, what doesn't, if this is helping you make sense of what's kind of going on and why things are happening. But, okay. Pile 2, Spirit Guides. How can Pile 2 align their energy or stay aligned to receive this blessing? Hello. Okay. We've got the Two of Pentacles reversed. When will Pile 2 receive this blessing? I want to take that. I think it wants to go upright. We're going to do upright. And how will this blessing help Pile 2? We've got the Page of Pentacles reversed. It's interesting because both these came up in Pile 1. And there are kind of similar energies here. And then, is there anything Pile 2 needs to be aware of with this blessing? Okay. We've got the Eight of Cups. All right. Let's digest this. Oh, wait. Also, we have to pull some dice for timing, too. Let me just... Okay. Timing for this blessing, Spirit. So we have the Sun. We have... I can never remember. I think that's a... I'm going to call it a 6. And we have Scorpio. Okay. Definitely double down on the self-care. That is going to be the thing that is really important for you. And also, I do want to say a message, especially because we're talking about kind of growing. And I think especially because we're talking about people who kind of like to keep you caged, like keep the bird caged because you have such brilliant ideas that are going to bring you honest success in this lifetime, and you're also going to help spark tons of new change in this lifetime. And I think right now, like, you are on the verge of major self-discovery and major self-empowerment. But I do still think you're being affected by other people's views of you or perception of you. And you're struggling with letting go of the idea that not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is going to agree with your ideas. Not everyone is going to view you the way you view yourself. Because people are viewing us from their own lens, right? They're viewing us through their projections, through comparing themselves to us most of the time. Not saying that's healthy, but I do get a sense that you have some people who are stuck in, I guess I would call it petty energy, and they make comments every now and then that just kind of get under your skin. Like, what's an example? I don't know. It's just Mean Girl stuff, if you know what I mean. Have you guys seen Mean Girls? Or if you know what I mean, just comments that are really unnecessary, and kind of have an underlying tone of being rude or judgmental. And I feel like, honestly, I don't even feel, I wouldn't be surprised if you are dealing with people just making random jabs at you, making comments out of nowhere that don't really involve them. And I think the best way you can deal with this energy in this situation and to stay aligned with receiving this blessing is A, to not stoop down to their level. Don't play into the pettiness. I know it can be hard sometimes, but once you realize, like, A, you're not really scared of them. Like, think about it, okay? Do you walk around and do these mean things to people? No. And if you do, I hope maybe this is bringing awareness to you, but I really doubt you guys do. Or if you do, or if you have struggled with it in the past, you've gotten significantly better at it. So, main messages here, don't play into the drama. And also, prioritize giving yourself compliments right now, being the validation that you need. Don't be searching for external validation, because I don't think you're going to be getting the type that you really need right now. The best thing to do for yourself is, I know it's going to be cheesy, but look yourself in the mirror. Take breaks throughout the day to check in with your body. Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling tight in your muscles? Are you tense? Are you grinding your teeth? These are all things you can be aware of that I feel sometimes we're not aware of how we're feeling, especially if someone's doing like petty stuff like this. It can kind of be easy to not feel how it affects us, or to not associate that with how it affects us. But if you are feeling sluggish or really tired and, just feeling anxious, it might be because these people's comments are getting down to you. And you might want to invest in like black obsidian or black tourmaline, some sort of evil eye bracelet, necklace, something that makes you feel protected against other people's energy. And yeah, just prioritize self-care right now and putting yourself on top. That's the best way to receive this blessing. As far as the timing for when you're going to receive this blessing, it's funny because you and pile 1 kind of got a similar message here. The Hierophant came out in this section too with another card. This is definitely telling me that this is all about divine timing. Anytime I see the Hierophant, the High Priestess, and a couple other cards, I just immediately hear it's divine timing. It's not really set in stone, but it will happen. That's the other message I get with divine timing, is that it's almost like a fated event or a fated blessing to occur in your life. It's just certain things need to line up, and as long as you maintain that self-care and speaking to yourself kindly and treating everyone else kindly, I think this blessing is going to come to you very easily. As far as specific timing, we have the Sun, we have the 6th house, and we have Scorpio. So maybe you have Scorpio in the 6th house, maybe your Sun is in Scorpio. Some good things, maybe if you have prominent Scorpio placements, check whenever major transits or the Sun is going through Scorpio. That could be in November / late October. I'm getting a really strange message, but the 6th house rules over like daily routines, work life. It's not necessarily your career, but it can represent day-to-day work or day-to-day routines, school, etc. So some of you with Scorpio here, it's telling me like some of you are either graduating from a school program or some sort of certification program. Some of you guys are leaving a job. Some of you guys are moving houses, letting go of a relationship. whatever this is, it's something to do with your daily routine, something that is a constant within your day-to-day, and I think you are going to be cutting this off or leaving this situation, and that could be around the time when this blessing comes in. We also have 6, so this could be 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. I doubt it's going to be 6 years. But yeah, I do get a sense that it will be within a year's time. With the Page of Pentacles reversed for how this blessing is going to be helping you, you guys might be struggling with a real bad case of perfectionism, or a need to be right all the time, or a need to appear that everything is together. And this overall stems from an insecurity that you're not enough, or that you'll never be enough, or that people will never see you as enough or good at something. And so you might have in the past been ridden with this like controlling, or maybe not even controlling, but just overly perfectionistic to the point where it might have been rubbing people the wrong way. You might have been acting out of character because you've been really stressed lately. And I'm so sorry, my cat is having she wants pets right now. And I think you also struggle with blaming yourself for things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. And it does stem from this perfectionism, this feeling like if you're not perfect, if things aren't correct, if you don't do things exactly by the book, then you're scared that you won't receive love or attention or admiration, rewards. And I think Spirit is saying this blessing is going to really help you face that insecurity and become the most empowered version of yourself that you've been yet. Because I do get the sense that this group has a lot of confidence, but I think self-esteem has been lacking. And that's the self-love, the knowledge that you are enough. You are confident, but you need to now work on loving yourself. As far as anything to be aware of, we have the 8 of Cups, so I really do get the strong sense that some of you guys are having like a blessing in disguise sort of moment here, and that's not for all of you, don't freak out or anything. Or maybe this is a moment where it looks like a tower moment, it looks like things are not going right, but then everything falls into place because of this decision or whatever happens, because the 8 of Cups to me does signify this departure from something. And it's definitely not something that you want to let go of. It honestly might be surprising what actually needs to go in your life. But I will say it is something that you do on a daily basis that is going to be changing, or that you are going to be leaving on purpose in search for better. So let's go ahead and get into the yes or no question portion of the reading. So go ahead and start thinking of your question. Send that over to me. Keep it in your mind's eye while I'm doing some shuffles. Hope you're doing well today. I just got off work. It's funny, I filmed the first half of your pile before work, and now I'm filming the second half of your pile after work. Crazy. Movie magic. You would never know, right? Okay, so think of that question. Spirit, yes or no for this? Yes or no? She's thinking. Yes or no? Okay. I'm gonna do upright or reverse. Reversed and 9 of Wands upright. So I'm gonna say this is a no. And I'm gonna say it because this thing, whatever you asked about, it's not what it portrays itself to be. The King of Wands upright to me is, they're a very confident figure. And they're also very good at, I'd say, wearing a mask or portraying themselves to be more put together than they are. The King of Wands is incredibly passionate, incredibly fiery, but that doesn't mean that they are good at practical matters and at keeping promises or at, being reliable. And I think you've been sold or you've seen the good parts of this situation, but you're not fully aware, or you're not accepting or seeing where there have been maybe not lies, but a misconstruction of the truth. I just feel like whoever or whatever you're asking about is not all that it chalks itself up to be, if that makes sense, or it's not all that you think it might be. And then with the Nine of Wands, that represents burnout. that represents a little bit of a push, a want to hold on, a want to keep going. But I don't think it's going to pan out the way that you would want. And I think this, actively pursuing this, is kind of, I don't want to say destroying you. That is a lot. That's a big word, Spirit. But it is taking a toll on you energetically, emotionally, physically, etc. And I think it's a no. I think it's a no. Pile 1 or pile 2. Maybe you have some messages in pile 1. But okay, let's go ahead and move on to the Tea Leaf Oracle. Okay, let's just see what kind of comes out. I'm just gonna wait. Okay, so we have celebration, fun, and enjoyment. We have hills, obstacles to overcome. Yeah, maybe this walking away situation. Dragon, beware of self-delusion. Bro, I love tarot. Yeah, there is something or someone that is not truthful with the whole picture of what they are with you. And I think you just need to be careful of protecting yourself and making sure you're not putting your energy somewhere that won't be reciprocated or valued. Then we have Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assures success. And then Stork, news of a birth or new business opportunity. So yeah, some of you could be leaving a job for a new one. Let's finish off with our homemade Spirit Angel deck. Spirit guides, what advice? Okay, that's a lot. I'm gonna not take these, and we'll take this. So, we have, with grace, I can transmute all negativity. I threw that. Why did I throw that? I know that communication with others improves as I love myself. An exciting adventure awaits me once I embrace my truest self. Iguana, plan out your dreams in great detail. Good intentions and effort will help you accomplish anything. Then we have storm warnings on the horizon. Do not spark fear in me. Yeah, there is no need to be fearful of this situation. If this reading is giving you anxiety, I'm so sorry. That is not my intention, and I'm so sorry if you are feeling anxious. But go ahead and take a deep breath, because this is what is happening. There's no need to fear. Spirit has your back, and things are going to work out. Then we have Toad, seek solitude to contemplate spiritual and emotional matters. You are becoming the new you. Yeah, starting fresh. Having nothing is the same as having everything. And then, oh gosh, this is all skewed everywhere. Life flows in cycles. We are allowed to break at any time. Okay, pile 2. That is all I have for you. I hope you resonated with this reading. If you did, feel free to give me a like, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you join the Meliella Tarot family and never miss videos in the future. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave your reading there. Have a wonderful good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. Thanks so much for being here with me today. If you chose the 7 of Swords and pile 3, you made it to the right pile. I don't know what I'm saying. I never know what I'm saying, guys. I think we all, if you've been here for a little bit, we all know I am not the best communicator, which is ironic because that's kind of my day job and my night job. So anyway, let's not dilly dally. I am in a mood. What is the opposite of a funk? Whatever that is, I am that today. I am powerful today. Like, I am being recharged. So I hope that you guys are feeling good. If you're not, I hope this reading can bring your energy level up a little bit, because you got some crazy, amazing blessings to come. I'm really excited to read for you. Okay, I should just like show you your cards so you can be excited with me. For the energy that you will be in when this blessing comes to you, we have the Horse. And then, you guys, you lucky ducks, you got 2 blessings. So you guys got the Lover, which is also why I'm a little like, hee hee. And then you got the Unseen. Very pretty cards. Okay, pile 3. Let's go ahead and tackle the energy you'll be in first, so you kind of know where you're at along this journey to receive these blessings. You guys got the Horse, obviously. And for the last 2 piles, we've been focused on how you're building up to the energy to make sure you'll actually resonate with the pile. So what I'm describing could be what you're about to start experiencing. Maybe you've already gone through this, or you're in the middle of this energy. There's a strong focus leading up to the Horse on not giving up, staying through to the end, or continuing to cross what seems like impossible terrain, right? Because something I didn't really think was possible was wild horses on the mountain. Well, let me rephrase. I know horses can be in the mountains, but the mountains where I live, there are horses on top of a specific mountain range that is really not livable to anything. So I was really surprised that there were horses there. But let me tell my story. I didn't think it was possible for these horses to live in those mountains. I live in the smack dab of 4 mountain ranges, and it wasn't until recently that I found out that there were horses indeed on top of that mountain range. And it kind of stumped me, because that range is really, it's a very arid, deserty climate. There's just not a lot of vegetation or water to really sustain life up there. And honestly, I have no clue how they even got up there, because it's a really steep incline, and it stumped me. But they've been up there for decades, and they make it work for themselves. Horses are really powerful creatures. Not only are they strong, but they're incredibly receptive to different emotions. They're incredibly intelligent animals, and I feel like that's even being shown here with the crescent moon over this horse's third eye. Horses are also reliable. I'd argue, honestly, guys, if humans didn't have dogs, I think horses would be man's best friend, just based on the history together between humanity and horses. We've gone through battles together. We take care of each other. Even now we have equestrian therapy. Like, horses have a really powerful impact on people, and obviously we rely on horses so much, or we used to. It's kind of gone out of touch these days, but you know, there used to be that strong connection there. And I think this is all symbolic, because I think this is a group that cares a lot about the well-being of others, and that might be a strong motivating factor for what you do. And this doesn't have to be a career, and I say what you do because something about your personality or the way you treat people, it's just very different than a lot of others. An example coming to my mind: a lot of times when people get angry or say something mean to us, it can make us want to react and say something mean back. But maybe you're the type of person who's done a lot of work, or maybe you're just naturally like this, and you recognize that that person getting angry at you isn't actually getting angry at you. They're getting angry that maybe their parent is sick, or the life or that life is hurting them. And instead of acting from a place of ego, maybe you talk back to this person with love and kindness. And I think that can take people off guard. And it can remind them that life doesn't have to be like this all of the time, that there are good people and they can be good too. Whether you realize it or not, Pile 3, your energy helps people see where they're acting out of character and helps them evaluate how they can release what no longer serves them. I don't think this pile has been saved from the cruelties of life. I honestly even think that this pile could be my pile who's survived the worst of the worst. A pile who were forced to build strength and stamina instead of being given a choice. And I think it does make you feel alone. There's a sadness in this horse's eyes. It feels like a deep empathy for humanity, and that empathy was built through experience. And I think you feel alone not because you're the only one who's experienced trauma, but because I feel like you guys are almost forgotten about. People forget what you've gone through. Or maybe new people project that you've never experienced adversity. And I do think it's because you've worked hard to maintain or return to love throughout your life. Like, you haven't been jaded. And even if you were, you've worked on yourself to know that kindness and love can exist even when you're experiencing pain. You guys might actually be a lot farther along with your maturity than others, so much so that people might actually think you're below them on a healing journey. And I'm thinking of someone who's worked like really hard to get themselves to cry and be soft after experiencing lots of trauma or pain, and then like say I don't know, Joe Smelly from work sees you cry about not getting the promotion you wanted, even though obviously you're happy for the person who did get it. But now Joe has seen you cry, he thinks you're a baby, he calls you weak. But in actuality, you're just feeling your feelings so it doesn't bog you down later. And Joe is actually harboring resentment towards you as well as others because he didn't get the promotion either, and he's taking it personally deep down because he's not happy for the other person. And I think you might have in the past struggled with taking what people like Joe said personally, but now things are changing and your true power is showing, because let's go ahead and talk about your horse energy when this blessing arrives. This is a lot about recognizing your strength and how you literally can't be defeated, guys. When this blessing arrives, you might literally be building strength at the gym. Maybe you're doing puller plunges to build more nervous system strength. Maybe you're making a big deal out of praising yourself in the mirror and building up self-esteem and self-empowerment. All of this is going to accumulate into the realization that you can't outdo the doer. You guys are the doer. You can't outdo the doer, and you can't, like, no one can defeat you. What's that meme where she's like, you can't kill me! You can't kill me! That's you guys. The flame inside you will never go out, and it never did go out. It was only dimmed because it wasn't being fed properly. You're realizing that the trials and tribulations you've gone through really did make you invincible on the invincible, not invisible, invincible on the other side. Obviously not literally, because there's always going to be like an Achilles heel or a kryptonite or whatever. We're constantly growing and learning. You're realizing that the trials and tribulations you've gone through really did make you stronger. But the season of suffering you went through made you far better off. Because the harsh lessons you learned in a short amount of time set you up for a life of success. You might honestly start seeing soon the same people who assumed they were ahead of you in life meet a karmic challenge, especially now that Pluto is leaving Capricorn. We're going into Aquarius on January 20th. That is a huge cycle of karma and lessons and rebuilding transformation taken out of the cardinal signs and put on to the fixed signs: Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. So definitely keep your eye out for some people whose ego has maybe harmed you because they are unable to work on themselves, or see outside of the tunnel vision that they have, because they might be starting their karmic cycle and learning their lessons, that are obviously going to, hopefully, every human has free will, but hopefully build them into a greater person, a more loving, kind, understanding, empathetic person. Just like you. Some of you also might start seeing people return back to you and apologize for their actions and how they treated you, because now they're going through the exact same thing you went through, and they understand now why you acted the way you did and how their actions in that situation really didn't help. And I think you'll start to be seen for your strength and your wisdom once these blessings come in. I think now would be a good time to actually get into the blessings that are coming towards you. I do feel like the next phase of your life is all about connection and heart space awakening, going back to people coming back to apologize to you. Honestly, the ball is in your hands, in your court when it comes to forgiveness. I think it's important to have boundaries, of course. People who weren't there for you in your worst really don't always deserve to be there for your best. But especially as a young person myself, who went through things that my peers couldn't have even fathomed at the time, sometimes people are doing the best with the knowledge that they have. Kids especially, they have no clue what they're doing. And for example, like, when my mom died, I was 15, my home life was bad, and I was searching for support from my friends, but that obviously wasn't their responsibility either, and it was hard. My friends respectfully were definitely not helpful. They were probably harmful, and I felt incredibly betrayed when people couldn't show up for me in the way that I needed. And now that I'm 22, I'm releasing my resentment, because even though I haven't been apologized by everyone, I realized that, we were kids. Children. And it's not my fault that adults in my life weren't healthy. And it's not my old friend's fault for not knowing what to do, so you might find forgiveness for some people. There's an energy of seeing people in a different light that creates more connection. And same with others seeing you in a different light. There's a lot of understanding and compassion. Now, if you were adults when this chaos in your life was happening, and these people coming in genuinely could have treated you better because they knew better, I think you absolutely have a right to not forgive and to send these people on their merry way. If this is a parent coming to say I'm sorry, I think that may need a little bit more digestion time than a friend. And I will never tell you what to do or what choices to make. That needs to come from you. But I will say there are chances and opportunities for reconciliation here. The other blessing I'm getting here from the unseen, there's a rejuvenation in your beliefs of something good, something loving, a meaning to the chaos of the world. Some of you have, or you will have, a very serendipitous moment. It's like a completion or a wrap-up, but also a beginning. It's something that will make you feel okay with saying goodbye to a chapter and beginning a new one, and forgiving your past, forgiving others, and moving on. This blessing is coming to you because you listened and believed in yourself. By you following the wisdom of your higher self, you are following the footsteps of spirit. There's also this realization that you are spirit. You are love and whole and part of the collective. It feels like the light up at the end of the tunnel is here. I'm also being shown Ki-Hwan Lee winning his Oscar for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it makes me cry every time I watch that video, because the adversity and the hardships he faced seemed impossible. To start life in a refugee camp, move to America and support your family with your dream of acting in America at the time, and a Hollywood that didn't provide the same opportunities for people of color as they did and still do for white people. He gave up on the industry, not his dream. That's the important thing here. He even said in his speech, never give up on your dreams. And seeing him win is a reminder to all of us to keep fighting, keep dreaming of a better future, of one that's fair and loving and kind to all. Your time to shine is here, guys, and it's coming. You've held on this long, and you're going to see why it was all worth it. Okay, pile 3. This is one of the longest first sections of a reading I've ever done. We're almost at 20 minutes on the camera timer. I felt like it was important to lay all of that out for you. But let's go ahead and move on to our tarot portion of the reading. Okay. How are you guys feeling? I hope you are doing well, and I hope this reading is giving you hope for the future, because I feel like you guys deserve some hope. You deserve to keep the dreams alive. Okay. Spirit, how can pile 3 align their energy or stay aligned with these blessings? Okay. We've got the Knight of Wands reversed. Now we're going to do some timing. Spirit, when will pile 3 receive this blessing? When will pile 3 receive this blessing? We have the Queen of Swords. I get it. Okay. Okay, Spirit. Yeah, there's a very clear message here, guys. How will this blessing help pile 3? This is the King of Wands reversed. Oh my gosh. What? We need a page now to complete the suit. And is there anything else to be aware of? Is there anything else to... Okay, 2 came out. So we have the 6 of Cups reversed and the 4 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, let's digest this, shall we? So, there is a very clear message here, guys. In this cycle, or leading up to receiving these blessings, and maybe even after you receive these blessings, there are going to be some people that are jealous of the way you're shining, jealous of the attention you're getting, jealous of how good your work is, how I don't know, maybe you're looking good too. Obviously, you guys look good. You're pile 3, but someone feels threatened by your light because they don't realize that everyone can shine. There doesn't need to be this competition and war between each other. We can shine just as brightly together as friends, as lovers, as acquaintances. Like, we can all have it. Like, it's okay, but someone hasn't realized that yet, and they're struggling with their insecurities, and they're just feeling threatened by you. And I do think this might be a source of drama for you leading up to this, and I do think Spirit is saying if you play into this energy, it might cause some delays for you, just because it's like Spirit wants to make sure you learn the last little bit of lessons. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have Capricorn placements or strong cardinal placements in your chart, because this does really give me the feeling like Pluto is making sure you have learned the lessons that you needed to before it leaves it for the next 20 years, or for the next, 200 years? I don't know. Maybe 400. I think your best bet is to distract yourself with what makes you feel passionate right now and what makes you feel confident. Don't weigh into the drama. Try not to gossip. Try not to, even if someone gets one over on you, don't be talking about it to everyone. If you have, I feel like you guys have one person in your life that is like a solid person that has no reason to spread your beans, has always been there, and I feel like that is the person you should rant to when things get a little too spicy, and you just need to let off steam. Another thing, I'm trying to remember, I think it was Kino in a recent reading, she said something about journaling negative, like having a negative feelings journal where you can just spew everything, and you don't have to shame yourself. Like it's a safe space for you to spew that, and it's kind of about honoring your light and shadow energies, because you are both. It's not one or the other, you are both, and you have to honor both sides of you, otherwise you go out of balance, and that is where you play into drama, and but I do think there's encouragement to talk to that one specific person that is always on your side and will never spill your beans, and also keep your mouth shut. Especially if you have projects in the works, or if you're auditioning for something, especially if you're auditioning for something, or especially if you're trying out for some sort of role at work, do not talk about it. Do not. Like, that is coming through as clear as day. Do not do it. Keep it to yourself, because there are things that Spirit is trying to protect you from. It's not like the worst of the worst. I do want to say it's not like you're going to get a tower moment here, but there will be blocks if you engage in this energy, okay? So just be aware of that. With the Queen of Swords, also, I forgot to do this. Let me grab my Astro Dice, and we're going to do a little timing prediction. Spirit, when will this blessing come in? Okay, so we have Leo, we have number 5 / the 5th house, and this is hold on, I have to check my astrology app because I can never remember the difference between the north and south node, like which one is up or down, so give me one moment. Okay, this is the south node. So, number 5 is all about change. It also is the 5th house. The 5th house is all about dating, romance, and creativity. The south node is about past lives, past lessons, things you've mastered in your past life, and skills and talents that you bring into this current life that you gathered from a past life. It's kind of like the foundation of you. It's not who you become. Versus the north node is who you become. South node is who you kind of come into this world as. And then Leo, which actually traditionally rules the 5th house. Think of glamour, think of spotlight, think of intense creativity. Also talkative, very great communicators when it comes to being on stage, commanding attention. Love Leos. I just love fire signs. I'm an Aries rising. I love a Leo. It's also because I'm a triple Libra. I love a Leo. Shout out to all my Leos out there. I love you. There is a message coming through because the Queen of Swords is kind of my boundaries card. And to me, what this is saying, some of you need to maintain boundaries in your love life in order to put more focus into your creativity. And then, I got it. Okay. Spirit is telling me some of you have someone in front of you that you are thinking of getting involved with, or you've got your eye on. It could be this lover coming in. It could be someone from the past coming back to you, because we touched on that. Especially with the South Node here, past energy. Whoever comes in to your life, there is a need to put up boundaries. It doesn't mean you have to create a wall, But I think you need to be the queen of boundaries right now with this person, because it's not that they're not being genuine. It's not that they're this person that's trying to get one over you. I think this is someone who wants to be your lover. But they... How do I say this? Both of you need to learn some lessons. And for this person, it's how to stay... Or, Sorry guys, my camera cut out there for a second, but I got the message. So this person coming into your life needs to learn that boundaries are a way for someone to keep you in their life. I think this person struggles with boundaries, and they need an example of someone who has firm boundaries. And so that's why you're being encouraged to, you know, maybe if you are focused on creativity or other things right now, maintain those boundaries, maintain some space. Don't put up walls. But if you can't date someone right now, be friends with them. But if you think they're cute and see something in the future, let them know that. Like, and then and you need to learn how to set boundaries. You know, this person needs to learn boundaries. You need to set boundaries. Okay. Anyway, when that happens, I feel like that's when this blessing is really gonna just fast track to you. There's also the other message with this debacle here, maintaining in your own element and focusing on your creativity instead of buying into this nasty energy. I think this is talking about becoming the leader you never had, or becoming the leader you never thought you could become. You're going to be developing a much stronger confidence, because I think you've been tricked to believe that you don't know better, or you don't know what is best for everyone. Or maybe even people have been threatened in the past when you take charge, and they've projected onto you that you're arrogant or controlling, when in reality, you're just following your natural born path. This is definitely like CEO energy, and I think people have been threatened by you, and you might have taken on their projections of, oh my gosh, am I being arrogant? Do I need to be even kinder? Do I need to watch my words? I think you've had to question yourself and become this person that is trying to attune everything to everyone else. And I think, like, I'm getting this strong urge to just flip this over. And especially because I'm pretty sure it came out sideways and I just intuitively put it reverse, or how it came out reverse. But I feel like this energy is going to be flipped, where you're like, you're grabbing the wand and you're claiming your rightful throne as the king. This is genderless, but you know what I mean, where you're just like, no, I can have boundaries. I know myself. I know my emotions. I can communicate properly. And now it's time for the fire, the drive, the passion, the spontaneity, the go-getter attitude, the CEO. Like, it's everything is coming together for you guys. This is incredible. And it's going to be a light switch moment where you're like, this is what I've been learning. This is why I've went through everything. And I feel like crying right now. I just feel like everything's gonna be worth it for you guys. And all the hardships that you went through, you didn't deserve anything that happened to you, but you're gonna be realizing that there was a deeper meaning, and that you weren't what other people thought you were, and that you deserve this throne because you've worked really hard for it. Okay, let me pick myself back together. Oh my god. With anything to be aware of, we have the Six of Cups reversed and the Four of Pentacles reversed. And I think there's just a message of, like, if there are people that you wish you could have brought into this new future with you, and you find yourself feeling down or feeling emotional about these people or things, let yourself grieve, but also know that it's not worth it to be disheartened or sad about this for a long time, these people, these places, these things that you've had to lose and transform, they wouldn't have been able to carry the person that you are now, who you're becoming, and who you will be. Like, there's some humans have free will, and some people choose to not meet their true selves, not become their higher selves. Some people just want to live a human experience and not awaken, and that's fine. That's their right. Like, I hope next life I come back not aware, because I hope I'm not aware and also not destructive with that unawareness. Like, maybe I'll just be an iguana in a jungle. That would be nice. But being aware is hard, and it's difficult to live life with awareness through a lens of love and understanding and empathy. It's difficult to do that. It takes true strength and a true leader to be able to do that. But we all are capable of it. No matter who you think you are, no matter what you've been told you are totally capable of that. But I do think there are people that genuinely could not go with you on this journey. And it's okay to grieve them, but just know that you did not lose what was meant for you. If anything, you are about to meet what was meant for you and why these people had to leave your life. Pile 3. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the yes or no question portion of your reading. So go ahead and think of a question, send it to me energetically, and let's see what comes out. This can be anything you want to know, yes or no. Okay, Spirit, yes or no? Pile 3's question. Yes or no? I'm going to take one more. Okay. So, those kind of shot out. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords reversed. So, I do think that you guys are asking about some sort of physical opportunity that you could achieve, or something to do with the 3D reality. And I don't think this has to do with a relationship, so to say. I do feel like this has to do with some sort of financial goal or financial opportunity or career, something to do with the material, something tangible that you are hoping to reach. And what I want to say with this is your answer is yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Because with the Eight of Swords reversed, I think you guys have unlocked a part of yourself that is no longer scared of other people's opinions of you, and you're no longer catering to the needs of everyone else before your own. You've released yourself from the shackles that held you back. And I do feel like it has to do with some sort of people-pleasing tendency or some sort of blockage that came about because people told you you were less than, or told you you couldn't reach some sort of goal, some sort of opportunity. And I do feel like it's coming back around to say you were always right. Your passions were right where they needed to go, and your hopes and your dreams were all worth it, because like this is definitely for you. Anyone who made you doubt yourself were just jealous because they weren't as sure as their capability to reach this goal as you were at the time. And so people had to kind of stomp on you to make themselves feel better. But now I feel like it's coming around to you because you've healed that part of yourself, and you're no longer going to let people stomp all over you. Okay, let's go ahead and finish off with some final messages from my homemade spirit deck, and then we'll grab some tea leaf. Okay, Spirit, final messages for pile 3. What are the final messages for pile 3? Okay, I'm going to take those. So we have spread your wings and fly. We have I have the courage and strength to follow my truest path. Following my inner light will bring me out of darkness. We have the elk. Pace yourself and eat foods that fuel your body. Seek out friendship with those of the same gender. I choose to co-create with the universe. And lastly, we got the coyote. Don't be so don't be so serious. You have all that you need. A challenge may come, but you are fully capable to get through. Definitely gives me that horse vibe too. Absolutely capable to get through anything that life throws your way. Okay. Now we are going to just close off with some tea leaves. So Spirit, final messages for pile 3. I'm going to take those. We have Caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. We have the Rose. Romance is in the air. Definitely with the lover. Come on, guys. Like... Then we have the Leg, stepping into a new experience. I definitely see that with the Ace of Pentacles. You guys are definitely, some sort of big opportunity is coming to you, or something new is coming, and you're going to be really excited. And then Bird flying, news is on the way. So maybe it's news about this new opportunity or new experience. Either way, you guys got some really amazing blessings on their way to you. And thank you so much for sitting around and listening to this reading with me today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to give me a like, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe. I would love to have you join us here at Melanie Tarot for future videos, obviously in the future. But that's all I have to say. I'm going to leave you there. Have a wonderful afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning. Bye, Pile 3. Hello, Pile 4. Thanks so much for being here with me today. If you chose the Page of Wands, then that's how you know you made it to Pile 4, and you are at the right reading. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's go ahead and flip over your Oracle cards for the energy you'll be in when this blessing is ready to be received by you. You guys got the Vulture, and don't get scared. This doesn't mean anything negative or anything like that. This is actually, I think, a very empowering card. And then the blessing that is actually coming to you, we've got the Womb. Very pretty, pretty cards. So, Pile 4. Leading up to receiving this blessing, because I've been giving a whole spiel to the piles about just the energies and the things they might be dealing with leading up to the Vulture or to their energy, I think you may be giving energy towards people, places, and things who really don't have the capacity to understand the level of love that you're giving. I also feel like you've been dealing with a lot of immaturity, and I think for a while you felt like it was your job to help improve this situation. Like, for example, maybe there's a workplace that is toxic, and you've been making it your responsibility to gentle parent coworkers or stay to organize files so like if the company is audited, that way your workplace isn't shut down, you know? If this is a person, maybe you've been making excuses saying that they just don't understand or they'll come around. Maybe telling yourself if you're nice to them, then eventually they'll start to show you that love back. Respectfully, in the nicest way possible, Pile 4. You're dealing with takers here, and it is so hard because people we love might not always be the healthiest for us. If you notice, no one wants to hang out with you unless they want something from you. That might be a sign that they just kind of want to take from you. They like what you have. Like maybe you have a special skill that people enjoy when you provide for them. So they seem very nice to your face, or they say you're definitely their friend. But it's really only so they can keep getting services, or maybe you're even giving this person a discount, you know? So they keep getting whatever you're giving. This could be a friendship that is completely based off of you being their venting machine or their therapist. But when you need support, this person can't find their phone, or something crazy happened that makes their problems harder than yours, you know? The world is not full of people with beautiful hearts like you, at least right now. There are tons of loving, beautiful people, but not every single person loves as deeply as we do ourselves, you know? I think humanity can absolutely become something greater than we all imagine. But we have to stay grounded, and we have to acknowledge that we're not there yet on a large scale. And we do have to protect ourselves. There's a difference between people who genuinely like you and care about you, but honestly can't be there for you because maybe their mom died, or maybe they're taking care of their sick sibling, or, you know, maybe they're working 8 jobs to provide for their 12 kids. Who knows? But there's a difference between those people and the people who don't like you, but like what you provide for them. And I think that can be seen based on how much is being given and how much is being taken. Someone who likes you but can't show up wants you to have boundaries. They want you to focus on you and not be focused on providing for them. They want to take on their own burdens themselves. They don't want to harm you with their issues. They want the focus to be on reciprocation, and they will not take when they can't provide. But those who want what you have get angry at boundaries. They don't care about whether they can be there for you. They care more about you being there for them. And when you can't provide, they label you as a problem. They no longer see you as valuable or as a person when you're not showing up how they want. And these are the people who can often make you feel like you shouldn't want reciprocal energy. They're the type of people who are so stuck in their own pain that they might make you feel crazy for wanting and expecting more in a relationship. And the person who cares will listen to how you feel and honor your feelings. They may not be able to show up or do exactly what would make you feel better, you know, in the moment, because who knows, maybe you're like a million miles away from each other, and it's just not possible to make each other feel better. But they can hear what you have to say and see where you're coming from, and when they are able to show up, they will. And they will do their best to make sure you know that they care about you. And of course, if you're uncomfortable with someone coming in and out of your life, that's completely understandable. And it can be a huge roller coaster ride. So it's important to have boundaries with someone like that, and they will hopefully understand. But the point to this long rant is, by the time this blessing is ready to be received by you, you will have recognized some takers, and you will have put boundaries up in this energy. Some of these takers might try and ostracize you, but something I want you to know, Pile 4, is that you're protected. The vulture on this card has a purple aura coming off of it, and purple to me is always symbolic that spirits are around and they are protecting you purposefully. It's a sign to me that you're probably going through some unfair stuff, and you're being cloaked in a way that these things, this bullshit, if you will, cannot affect you. Because one thing Spirit is saying here is that your boundaries were and are essential to your health. These takers were pulling on you in a way that was seriously impacting you, either mentally, physically, financially, all three, all of the above. And this is something you needed to do for empowerment, but also for your well-being. Also, in the description of this card, it ends by saying this is a blessing in disguise. You don't see it yet, but you will rise above this, and you'll be thankful for these experiences in the long run. And as far as the blessings coming to you, it's your turn to receive, Pile 4. It's your turn to be seen in the workplace. It's your turn to have people calling you back. It's your turn to be paid well for your services. It's your turn to experience what it means to have reciprocal energy. And I really do think you had to go through the nasties to know what trueness meant in this situation. It's like how would you know the good days were really good if you didn't experience a little bit of bad? The brighter days are here for you, Pile 4, and you're stepping into a rebirth. It's a new cycle that's here for you, a recognition of who you are and who you always were. Shining in your own energy will attract the right people to you now. I'm also hearing Lana Del Rey, Playground, where she says, "The world is my oyster, I'm a little pearl, yep." I love that line. You might want to give that song a listen just because it's pretty catchy. And it's kind of like this femme empowerment of, yes, I'm me, and no, I don't care if you like me because I'll take care of myself, and I'm no longer accepting less. Like, I'm ready to play the game. And what I mean by that, I think when you step into true self-empowerment that doesn't come from anything or anyone outside of you, you start to realize where people are blocking themselves. And all I'm saying is the best revenge is reaching success and happiness for yourself and living your best life. But I'm not getting a whole bunch more from this, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull some tarot cards and move in to the next portion of our reading. Also, do some of you guys... This is really weird, but do some of you guys have a cold right now, or are you sick? Because I'm not sure if you can hear it. Like, go and compare my voice to these other piles. But my nose just got super plugged up. My eye is kind of leaking, and I feel this pressure in my head. Are some of you guys sick? You're gonna have to comment and let me know if you guys are, because I just got hit. Maybe I'm coming down with something, or hopefully I'm just like picking up on you guys, but feel better if you're feeling sick. I'm so sorry. Sending you love and health. Okay, Spirit. How can Pile 4 align their energy or stay aligned with this energy to receive this blessing? How can Pile 4 align their energy or stay aligned? We got the 9 of Swords, okay? And now we're going to look at timing. When will Pile 4 receive this blessing? Okay, that like jumped out. I'm going to take it up. Okay, we got Death. And we are also going to roll some astro dice. So we got the Sun in Gemini in the 11th house, or just the number 11 if that's relevant. We'll tackle that in a little bit. And then how will this blessing help Pile 4, Spirit? How will this blessing help Pile 4? We've got the Queen of Swords. It's funny to me that everything has come out like upright so far, because that hasn't been the case for all the other piles. If anything, there's been more reversals today than ever. And then, is there anything else to be aware of right now, Spirit? And there's the reverse. We've got the Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Some of you guys, we're going to start over here with how to align your energy or stay aligned to receive this blessing. You guys have a bad sleep schedule right now. I'm going to call you out right now, and I'm also going to move these cards so you can actually see. The Nine of Swords talks a lot about anxiety, sleepless nights, nightmares. Some of you might even be dealing with sleep paralysis right now, or just lots of bad mental health, I'd say, or feeling chaos around you, struggling with finding a routine, and struggling with feeling alone. And I think Spirit, like the main thing that is coming to me right now is sleep. That's the main message coming to me. You guys need sleep. You guys are either not sleeping enough, or you're on your phones before bed for a really long time. You guys, don't even worry. If you're in the midst of chaos right now, don't worry about trying to be perfect or trying to tackle an exercise routine and a morning routine and a shower routine and all of these things and a hygiene and laundry and dishes. Don't worry about that right now, because your mind is the thing that needs to be taken care of right now. And the best way to kind of help center and ground yourself is getting enough sleep and having going to bed at the same time each night, making sure you're off your screens an hour before bed. Maybe pick up reading or listening to a podcast. Some of you guys, oh, I have this actually right here. I'm one of those people that doesn't trust like the pharmaceutical industry, and I don't want to like spew my biases on anyone, but whether it's a placebo or not, I'm gonna let everyone else decide. But I will say that this melatonin sleep gummy thing, it's got L-theanine, I don't know, and then this goodbye stress gummy. This one I feel is the placebo more than the melatonin, because I used to take melatonin when I was younger, but there are more there are natural ways to kind of like help yourself right now, especially if you're really out of whack, and you just need even if you just need a placebo, I feel like getting something like melatonin could really help, taking it at the same time each night, making yourself tea, making sure you shower, like create a very strict night routine. That's the one thing I want you to be strict with yourself about right now, and I think that's what Spirit wants you to be strict with right now. And make sure when you wake up, you're waking up at the same time too. And you don't have to have an elaborate routine, but if you struggle with staying awake when your alarm goes off, put your phone or like another alarm source across the room so you actually have to get up. I used to do that a lot when I was younger because I always struggled with getting out of bed. There's also a message here, I think, to keep looking for a therapist, or like that's a very specific message. Some of you guys either don't like your therapist or are still struggling to find someone who genuinely can help you, and Spirit is saying they're definitely out there. Keep looking, keep wanting to learn more and making your mental health a priority. And if you guys do have a therapist or a trusted adult or someone you kind of confide in health-wise, maybe open up a little bit about this anxiety or just how you're feeling mentally, and be open to their suggestions and be open to trying different things, even if you feel like they won't help you. Because I've surprised myself sometimes. I'm very stubborn sometimes, and if I'm like, breathing deeply won't help my anxiety, then you go a year and then you start breathing deeply and then you're like, oh, I guess it does help my anxiety. But that's on being an Aries rising, ruled by my Capricorn Mars, and also having a Scorpio moon. So I'm very stubborn, guys, and I'm working on it, because anyone with major Mars placements or Mars ruled signs, that's Aries and Scorpio, you feel my pain. We can be stubborn, and that can be to our detriment. So just be open to the wacky suggestions. Also, these vegetables here I'm fairly certain these are peppers, but the only thing that came to my mind was carrots. Some of you guys like start eating carrots just as like a daily snack and see if that improves your mood. That's a very specific thing. Let me Google what vitamin is in carrots. Maybe that'll tell you something that you're low in. Okay. What vitamin is in carrots? Okay. Carrots have potassium, antioxidants, and vitamin A. They're good for eye health. I knew that. They lower cholesterol. And isn't like cholesterol and stress kind of linked too? I don't know. I went to school for biology, but there's a reason I don't work in a lab. Listen, I was the pandemic generation. I don't know if our generation can even rightfully say they got a proper college education. And I was in a city, so no one was on campus for years. And I think the last message is just to try and diversify the foods that you eat. Maybe, like, you don't have to go ham. I think there's so many toxic podcasts out there and toxic like self-help teachers out there who are like, you need to be strict, you need to do this. Yes, sometimes there's a need for that for certain periods, but who wants to live like that all the time? You know, we are fluid human beings. Did you like my little hand gesture? We're fluid human beings, you know, and not everything needs to be rushed, especially healing. God, healing does not, out of all the things, healing does not need to be rushed. And so I think if you're feeling pressured to do more than you actually can, recognize how that actually contributes to your burnout and how that makes it impossible for you to reach your goals. Whereas if maybe you make it a goal to go to the gym 1 day per week, and then after a month you go 2 days per week, and then 3, very quickly you're going to see how easily it is to build that routine because you took things slow and steady. Same thing with expanding the foods that you eat and eating, diversifying, that's the word I'm looking for, diversifying the foods you eat. If you're used to having a diet that isn't serving you anymore and you're not really sure where to go, try one different meal, like try a new dinner once per week. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just build up that register of healthy coping mechanisms, healthy things that you enjoy, and dedicate yourself to learning more about who you are and what you like. So let's go ahead and talk about timing. So a lot of you, this could be coming to you in 11 weeks, which would be about 3 months, which could put you at the start of just about Gemini season. I think Venus might be in Gemini in about 11 weeks, so you could be at the start of that kind of Sun in Gemini energy towards the end of Taurus season. This could also be like June 11th. That's Gemini season. I think definitely the time period where the sun is in Gemini, which I believe happens May 20th/21st to June 20th/21st. I'll put it up there if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. But just kind of like we said with the Vulture, I think the Death card is very significant. It kind of reminds me of both of these cards. I think you will be in a state of transformation where you're just saying no to things that no longer serve you, and you're ready to step into the new. You're ready. I just heard you're ready to become baby. And maybe that's significant with the womb here. Either you're ready to start nurturing yourself, or you're ready to kind of become the baby and become the nurtured, you know, and let other people take the reins for a bit. Let them do all the work for a bit, you know. Maybe this next chapter you're realizing is all about rest and recuperation. But that's for you to decide, not for me. I'm just spitting the energies, you know? And there's a mix of berries, I think, on this card. It looks like blueberries, maybe some maybe raspberries. I don't know what these are. Maybe there's some sort of mythic berry. But whatever it is, I feel like you're going to be enjoying the sweetness of life, definitely, by the time these blessings come in. And it's because you're able, almost like this phoenix and the vulture, to rise above, like to fly above and see things from a higher perspective. And you realize, kind of like that sound that's going around on the internet, if you stop and you look for it, you might actually find there is love all around you. And I think you're finally seeing the people who love you, and you're no longer fighting for the people who don't. And I think that is very evident here with the Queen of Swords too, because this is encouragement of like your boundaries keep you safe. And just a reminder, this card represents how this blessing will help you. It's encouragement to maintain boundaries and to get to know people slowly, to trust your intuition, to trust your intelligence too. That's another thing. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking you're dumb, please, please don't. I've had that happen to me so many times, and I've just gotten to a point with my therapist where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna be my own best friend, and I think you guys should too. We all need to be our own best friends here at Mellow Yellow Tarot, and we can be each other's best friends too in the comments. I love you guys. I think this blessing, like having people who actually care about you, who actually show up for you, and who actually give back to you, will bring back this mental clarity, because especially if you've been dealing with takers who are like, put out there, especially if you've been dealing with takers, I've noticed that takers love to play nice. They love to be nice to your face, but not put in the work it actually takes to maintain healthy, nurturing relationships. Because they're only looking out for their own gain, right? You know, they don't want to put in the work for love. That's not what they're after right now. And maybe you've caught these people in situations where they've shown their true colors, and you wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. You wanted to talk with them about it. You wanted to believe that they were sorry, or that the mask that you saw slip wasn't the real them, you know? And these people might be very convincing of, you know, trying to prove that what you saw wasn't them and that they care about you so much, but then that creates a mental distortion in your own head, because this person is still lying, still trying to cover up the truth, and you intuitively already saw and picked up on the truth. And it does feel like it probably is a form of gaslighting. I don't know, I think those are buzzwords. I don't want anyone or me to get into a habit of using buzzwords, but I just feel like this pile has been dealing with some people who don't... You don't deserve to deal with these people, and you're going to be owning your truth very soon. And that's how this blessing is going to help you to have the confidence to own your truth, and to be able to call people out on their BS, and to be able to stand your ground, and to say, I gave you a chance, I gave you a second chance, we're done. No more. Because I'm protecting my energy, because I am love, I am light, and that doesn't mean you're not, but it just means that right now, you're dimming my light, and we can't do this. I think there's a message here of overworking yourself with the Two of Pentacles, or just like we were kind of talking with the Nine of Swords, trying to push yourself to become too much too quickly, or trying to get things in order too quickly, because things take time, especially if, you know, this is the first time you've kind of made a big move like this, and you're the first time you're standing in your power in a really long time. It's gonna take a second for the pendulum to stop swaying back and forth. And I think Spirit is encouraging you to not make any irrational decisions right now. Pretty soon we are gonna be out of retrograde energy. Like, all planets are gonna be direct, and it'll be a very pleasant energy, very good for making decisions and taking inspired action. And I will say, if you do have inspired action to create or to go somewhere, absolutely follow that. But if you're getting inspired action to go drop $300 on a new couch that you don't necessarily need, I think Spirit would say, maybe right now, let's just not do that. I don't think that would help. I think in the future that you might actually look back and be like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I didn't need that, you know? And so Spirit just wants to come through now and make sure you're moving with awareness over the next little bit. But now we're going to go on to the fun portion where we are gonna get you an answer to any yes or no question that you can think of, or that you want the answer to. So go ahead, have that question in your mind's eye, maybe say it out loud, send it over to me, and we are going to go ahead and see what the answer is from Spirit. Keep thinking about it, keep saying, visualize, sending it. Okay. Spirit guides of pile 4, what is the answer, yes or no, to pile 4's question? Okay. So we got the 8 of Cups. That was a very quick thing. I'm going to pull one more, yes or no. Okay, that flew. We have the King of Pentacles. Okay. So the reason I was hesitating there for a second is because I was getting 2 different situations. Some of you guys, because sometimes the 8 of Cups can talk about not wanting to leave something or trying to hold on to something emotionally, being attached to something, knowing that we still have to leave though, but maybe being hesitant to actually take those steps to leave. So I wasn't sure whether to say yes or no, because I didn't know if saying yes or no would encourage you to stay in a bad situation, you know? And so I'm going to say this 8 of Cups is representing a maybe, but this King of Pentacles is representing a yes. So I think the reason I'm saying this is because there is something that you know deep down that you're probably still emotionally attached to. This could still be friendships that you're attached to, a workplace, whatever, that you know deep down is not serving you, that you know is taking more from you than you are getting in return, and it's time to leave. It might even be way overdue time to leave, and you know this, but you still have that emotional attachment. And I think it's time for you to take the mask off of these places, off of these situations, off of these people. Do it yourself. Don't wait for it to slip. Trust your intuition and see what you can observe from these people right now. And I think that would encourage you or show you the way you should go right now, because maybe you're still confused and you're like, but I love all these people and I love my job. I don't know what you're talking about. But maybe Spirit knows that these people don't have the best intentions. And if you just started moving a little, I wouldn't say quieter, but if you just start prioritizing observing other people's actions and observing the type of character that people walk through life with, or the type of character that a workplace acts with, I think you'd learn a lot about where you should go next. Because the yes here is if you have walked away from this place. Once you walk away from this, maybe you guys come back with a different question, it's going to be a yes. But this talks about a provider. Maybe you become this provider. Maybe a provider is coming to you. Maybe a new boss is coming to you that sees you and recognizes your talents and honors you and is willing to put you on blast in front of, I don't know why I said that, is willing to brag about you. That's the word I'm looking for. Brag about you in front of people because you're outstanding and they see that. This person could also want to give you a raise really quickly too, because they know what you're capable of and what you provide and what you will provide in the future for them. Like, they see greatness and they want to maintain it, and they want to make sure that you know you are great because you deserve to stand in that greatness energy. Okay, pile 4. Let's go ahead and start wrapping up your reading. This is my homemade spirit deck, so spirit guides. Closing advice for pile 4. Closing advice and guidance for pile 4, Spirit. What do we have for pile 4? Okay, fell into my lap. We have, I am capable of all I set my mind to. Then we have 1111, alignment with your manifestation is happening. You are on the right path. And see if we can get some more. Okay. We've got I trust the universe and my guides to take me to my highest path. I listen and pay attention to the messages in my dreams. And love is the answer. Yes. Constantly search for the people who love you and the people, places, and things that make you feel loved. That's what's important for you. And now, we're just going to close off with some tea leaf messages. So, Spirit, final guidance for, okay, pile 4. So, we have, oh my god, we brought the vulture! Vulture, synchronicity. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Yeah, that was definitely coming through with the 9 of Swords. So definitely prioritize mental health and taking care of that. Whatever you have to do, whatever that means for you. And we have the Horse, a short journey. So I do feel like this time period, whatever you're going through right now, is only temporary. It's not going to be around for a really long time. Then we have... I feel like this is a message coming from like a spirit guide or something. We have Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly. Yeah, I feel like people are just so stupid to not see your worth, pile 4. You are worth so much. And the people who can't see that, they're just blind. You know, don't worry about them. I'm messing this up. Okay, pile 4, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, feel free to give me a like. Feel free to comment. I love reading comments. That's my favorite way to interact with everyone. And I would love to have you join the Mellow Yellow Tarot family here on YouTube so you never miss a video in the future. But I'm going to leave this reading here for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Bye, pile 4. Hello, pile 5. I almost forgot your pile. Thanks so much for being here with me today for your reading. We have so much to get into, so I just kind of want to go ahead and show you your cards for the energy that you'll be in when you receive this blessing. We have the Phoenix, so I hope you guys can already tell, like, this is going to be a big juicy reading, okay, for your pile specifically. For your blessings, we have the Vow. And we also have Apocalypsis. Okay, so there's a lot here. There's a lot we're going to get into. I think you may need something to take notes on, maybe a snack, a beverage, a nice cozy environment, because we're going to get real comfortable here with each other. And I just want to straight up say, pile 5, let's just get right into it. You're jumping realities, you're jumping timelines, whatever you want to call it. Your life as you know it right now is not going to be the same soon. This group, out of all the piles so far, has the most impactful blessings coming to you, in a sense that you've done some serious work here. And it's time you are blessed with all that you deserve, because pile 5, first of all, let's start with the energy you'll be most likely dealing with leading up to receiving this blessing. You are powerful, pile 5. And you have a purpose in this life to make an impact and create drastic change. But you are also human. And at some point, we are all faced with a season of life that tries to beat us down. Some call this karma. Some call this the dark night of a soul. I don't really like to put a label on it. I don't want to put a label on it because I feel like these experiences are so individual that it should only be named by the person experiencing it. So whatever you wish to call this season of life right now, I'm going to identify that this season was one where you faced some really harsh truths, maybe about yourself, maybe about the world around you, the people in your life, maybe all of the above. And the truths you learned probably left you feeling like you don't know what the truth is or who you are, what reality you live in. Maybe everything you knew to be true was abruptly distorted, or you were forced to leave something or someone that you always knew was home or safe. And during these changes and transitions, you probably felt, honestly, rock bottom. Like there was no way out or up. Making realizations about yourself may have left you feeling like who you thought you were was a lie. Your foundation and steady ground felt probably nowhere to be seen. And maybe you're still going through this energy right now. But it's important for you to know, if you're resonating with this energy, you won't be here forever, and change is absolutely on the way. However, in order to be in the energy of receiving this blessing, you cannot run away from what happened, and we have to face our fears and become braver than the shadows. It's also a humility to recognize burning away the old is sometimes the only way to bring in the new. The book compares the phoenix energy to a forest fire. We may not initially see why so much destruction happens, but once the flames kind of die out and regrowth starts, we understand that this is just a cycle of life. And next time a forest fire happens, we know that that patch of life will also regrow, and we build trust in the cycle. But imagine, I'm gonna just talk here. I'm just gonna spew, okay? So bear with me. Imagine early humans, and imagine them having a farm, because imagine the first humans start building farms, right? Okay. And then now imagine like a forest fire or a wildfire, lightning, something comes down, strikes that patch of farm, burns it all down to the ground. They're devastated, right? And so at that time, because maybe this is the very first time that an event like that happened where a farm burnt down, these humans then go off to another plot of land, or they move somewhere else because they maybe thought that nothing would regrow. When you see the destructive force of fire for the first time, you might be like, well, I feel like that was a sign. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go this way, and I'm never going to touch back with that. But then imagine years go by, right? And these old human ancestors, they're thinking about their old section of land. They loved their old farm. They loved the location. So they just, one day, they decide to go back to the farm, to the old land for memory's sake. And they realize that that specific patch of land where their farm was, where everything burnt down, now everything there has overgrown the parts of the land that weren't even touched by the fire. And now, in today's world, we know it's because fire is really important to the health of soil and natural growth cycles and healthy environments. And I know this is a very long tangent, but the whole point is, if we're in the fire, or if we've never experienced the fire before, we can easily not see the purpose behind destruction. And I think part of reaching the energy of receiving this blessing is believing that there is a meaning. Maybe not in the traditional spiritual way if you don't align with religion and you're just simply here for self-help and self-improvement. Reframing how you view what you're going through can really help you. If you need to take accountability, face that. It will take a whole load off of your chest. If you need to metaphorically or maybe even literally pack up shop and skip town, do it. Right now is about finding that willpower inside to keep going. To not give up. Also, to know that you are capable of so much more, and this is not the end for you. Just the beginning of a much stronger life. Let the fire burn and see what you are learning right now. So if all of that kind of sounds like the energy you've been dealing with as of late, let's go ahead and talk about the energy you'll be in once these blessings are here. Because y'all are taking a stand. Y'all are standing on business, not being pushed over anymore. Because y'all have seriously found your power. You are rising from what others might have thought would have destroyed you, right? Maybe you even, you yourself even thought that you couldn't get through this. In this energy, you are dedicating yourself to becoming the best you that you can be, and you're stepping into your power. You won't be swayed by what others think or do. You are releasing yourself from the burdens you carried, and you're forgiving yourself, most importantly. You're also committing to a new way of being, one that enforces strength, love, and truth. You have learned what you needed to, and you're stepping up to the next plate with more confidence and more wisdom to try again. And you're letting go of self-limiting beliefs and doubts that you can't become all that you've wanted, and you are inspiring others to live life with the same passion for regeneration. Okay, so now let's talk about these blessings. You have the vow and apocalypsis, and it's funny that all your cards kind of share this yellow aura, in some facet. Because to me, yellow is a color all about joy, happiness, and confidence, also strong communication. If you have been silenced or made to feel like your voice wasn't worth being heard, there's a huge shift where people are now really focused on what you have to say. Your opinions want to be considered. And another blessing with this is the confidence to actually speak your truth. Some of you are being plunged into a leadership position, or you're accepting a new job or something like that, because the vow does talk about a contract. But in more encompassing terms, I could see this representing you taking on a new life altogether, because you've cleared out the old, signing a new spiritual contract, if you will. It does kind of feel like a clean slate energetically. You're being given a new start in something you thought was dead, because in the guidebook, there's two facets to apocalypsis. One is one is the destructive element to uncover the truth, and the other is the regeneration of what is with the new truth. Something you thought couldn't come back to life or would never happen for you in this lifetime is actually gonna happen. And it's because you've worked so hard to become the person that can receive this. It does kind of feel like a childhood dream, a childhood love, something that you lost connection with and now it's here, saying, I've always wanted you just as much as you wanted me, but it just wasn't time. And no matter what this is, it does feel like you will have a full circle moment. More blessings coming to you, Pile 5. It feels like a promise to self to never let yourself experience something you have just learned, to never lose the love you have for yourself, to never stop believing in deserving more or wishing for a better life. A huge honor to yourself is coming, a strong sense of self, and an unshakable foundation. Okay, Pile 5, so if that sounds like right up your alley, let's go ahead and get into the tarot portion of your reading. I'm just going to do a couple shuffles. I think I've been asking the groups if you have any kids, and if you do have kids, what are their names? I don't want to say the female girl's name that I have picked out because I really don't want it to blow up, and I feel like it's one of those names that is going to become huge in the next baby generation. So I won't say the girl's name, but I will say the guy's name that I have picked out, and that's Xavier. I want my firstborn son to be named Xavier, but obviously I know I'll have to wait for the other parent, but it's just something about me. I want that. What do you want? Okay, let's go ahead and ask Spirit, how can Pile 5 align or stay aligned with their energy to receive these blessings? How can Pile 5 align or stay aligned? So we have the Ace of Cups reversed. And now we're going to look at timing. So when will Pile 1, or Pile 1 came out, when will Pile 5 receive this blessing? We got the 5 of Swords. You might want to check out Pile 1. There might be some messages related to you there as well, because you can, of course, always pick more than one blessing. And how will this blessing help Pile 5? Got the 10 of Cups, yes! And is there anything Pile 5 needs to be aware of right now? Got the 2 of Pentacles. It's so interesting. I swear, in all of the piles, I think, so far, everyone has received the 2 of Pentacles, but almost everyone has gotten it reversed. So it's interesting that you must be the stable pile, surprisingly. And I don't want to say, like, I'm surprised you're stable, Pile 5, because of course you're stable. But I'm just saying, like, so much of the collective are not stable right now, or they're feeling out of balance. So good on you for finding that balance. Anyway, let's also roll some dice. So this is for timing. This is for timing, Spirit. Timing for Pile 5. So we have 10, we have Scorpio, and we have, I believe this is Neptune. Let me check Astro right now. Oh, hello, Misa. Okay, so I'm having a weird calculation here, but I just want to say, I think from Pisces season to Scorpio season is around 10 months. So I feel like these blessings, or this period of blessings, could be spanning over the next 10 months, especially if you're watching this right now. Maybe you want to check the next time you're in Pisces or Scorpio season, or kind of the time frame between there, wherever you sit. It could be 10 months if you're watching it like now in January, or it could be between Scorpio and Pisces season, which I think is like 4, maybe 5 months in between. There's also a sense that these blessings could definitely be affecting your 10th house, which is all about career, recognition, fame. It can be your reputation as well. Maybe you guys are in your reputation era. Especially with apocalypsis here. It's like you guys are, oh my gosh, the cats just love you. Cats can't get enough of your energy. But I also want to say, whenever you're feeling highly psychically attuned, because both Scorpio and Pisces, and especially the planet Neptune, are very psychic, occulty signs. Pisces and Neptune are very more the psychic end of it. Scorpio is more occulty. So I do feel like you are going to be feeling tapped into spirit, or you're exploring occult sciences, or you're just feeling extra sensitive, extra compassionate, and maybe even more empathetic towards the people around you when this blessing comes in. But let's tackle how to stay aligned or align your energy. This is for those of you who resonate with this message, but I'm just going to say it. If some of you guys walked away from a connection that was absolutely the right idea and you should not get back with this person, that is absolutely in the cards here. I just get the sense, I know this isn't the traditional meaning, but whatever you walked away from, whatever you said no to, sorry, it was not in alignment with you, and it was actually draining your cup. It was making you lose sight of the love you had for yourself. And I think this is also a message: if there is anything in your life that is making you feel small or less than, know that it is an illusion, and that these people are purposely draining your cup because they're threatened by the success that you could reach. That was like a very clear message. But yeah, I think with Ace of Cups reverse, some of you might not be focused on love and relationships in this next part of your life, or you're being guided to focus more attention on yourself than anyone else. Focus on filling your own cup up and just making sure you're acting with that, what is that saying or that quote? I'm really forgetting it, but it's essentially along the lines of, like, you can't give from an empty cup. And I think you're just being encouraged to monitor your energy levels, monitor how much you're giving versus how much you're receiving. Because I think right now you're at a point that people could easily tip your cup or try and tip your cup because they're threatened, and it's just kind of just protect your energy and fill your own cup up. Show yourself lots of love right now. Going back to timing, the Five of Swords talks about major conflict. It could even talk about a battle. Some of you guys are going through a custody battle or a court battle, a messy divorce, whatever it is. I feel like the timing this blessing comes in is when you feel like you've either just finished a great war, metaphorically, or you've finished a custody battle, or you're in the middle of it. Definitely gonna come at a period where you're kind of like looking to the sky praying almost, because you're like, I need some help, Spirit. I need help. And Spirit is absolutely happy to deliver that to you. And as far as how will this blessing help you, I mean, we have the Ten of Cups. That is one of the happiest cards in the tarot deck, you know? That is so happy. It's emotional fulfillment. It's fulfillment in your relationships, feeling fulfilled in yourself, just feeling that genuine feeling of happiness. I feel like whoever you've had around you, whatever you're walking away from, whatever's forced you into this transformation energy, sorry, this is like the 7th time she's jumped up here, so I'm kind of getting annoyed. And I also get this trickling energy, almost like a snowball effect, because you see how like all of these, everything is dripping from one leaf to the other, like a system. Whatever you've done to prepare to receive these blessings, you're gonna see, how do I phrase this? You're going to be thankful to your past self for looking out for you and making the changes that they did, because you might not see, kind of like we were touching on, you might not see right now the benefits of the destruction of the fire, but you will very soon. And you're going to see it's because you were not with people, places, or things that were focused on your happiness. And now it's time for you to receive true happiness. Anything to be aware of with the Two of Pentacles, kind of like what we were touching on when it first came out. A lot of the collective is out of balance right now, out of alignment. We've had some major retrograde energy for like the entire half of 2023 has been a lot of energy. And some people are really struggling with all of the retrogrades coming to a close and the new energy starting and picking up their life. And I think Spirit wants you to know right now that the decisions you made, wherever you moved, whatever you let go of, that was in alignment. You were actually one of the people making choices in alignment with where you want to go and your higher self. Everything that you were thinking, I wouldn't be surprised. You guys are probably very psychic right now, or you can just know things right now. Any hunches you get, any intuitive feelings you get, pay close attention to that, because you are on the money right now. You are not being influenced by outside influences. You are balanced internally and externally. So your thought process is clear right now. You are not thinking badly, or you're not thinking from your shadow. You are on the money, pile 5. Okay, so now we're at the fun portion of your reading. I think it's fun, where you can ask any question you want. So this could pertain to the blessing, this could not pertain to the blessing. Try to keep it yes and no. I'll tell you yes or no, or maybe, and then I'll tell you why. So while I'm shuffling these cards, go ahead and think of a question, keep it in your mind's eye, and go ahead and send it over to me. Go ahead and think of that question, keep it fresh. You can even say it out loud. Okay. Spirit, what is the answer to Pile 5's question? Okay, what is the answer to Pile 5's question? Want to get one more? Okay. Upright or reverse? Okay, we've got reverse Sun and we have reverse Magician. This is actually very straightforward. This is a clear no. And the reason it's a no is because whatever you asked about, it's not in alignment with you. Maybe this is something you're trying to manifest. And obviously, if this is like a dream you've had for years, don't take this message. Like if you're asking Spirit, am I meant to do singing? Like, and I'm telling you no, don't take that. Use your intuition, please. If you've had a dream of singing for years, there's a reason you have that dream. But if you're asking about if you should reconnect with someone, if you're asking if you should trust someone, like, those are the types of things that are going to be a no right now. Something I heard recently that is actually rung very true, and I've noticed it everywhere now that I have heard it. It was a quote or something that said, pay attention to, it was something along the lines of like, pay attention to the people who are coming into your life quickly, or who want to make a fast bond with you, who are essentially love bombing you, or who are trying to move into you and get to know you way too quickly. Pay attention to that, because that will be a quick indicator that I don't think this person or this place or something, like if this is a job, maybe this job is really pulling out everything to try and get you to say yes and sign this contract, but I feel like this is not in alignment with you. Whoever or whatever this situation represents, it's a clear no, and it's because, like, this is literally divine protection right now. Either you're gonna reject this thing and stay in alignment, or Spirit is gonna reject it for you, or something's gonna happen to the point where this won't be able to move forward. But yeah, very, very clear no. So sorry. Now we're gonna move on to some advice. I'm gonna open my little box over here. This is my homemade Spirit deck that I made years ago. Spirit, what final advice do you have for Pile 5? What final advice do you have for Pile 5? I'm going to take a couple more, Spirit. Okay, I think that works. It's hard to shuffle, but I like this deck a lot. I made it. Of course I like it. Okay, We have my home, family, and loved ones are protected. We have the elk. Pace yourself and eat foods that fuel your body. Seek out friendship with those of the same gender. We have I am capable of all I set my mind to. With grace, I can transmute all negativity. And we have iguana. Plan out your dreams in great detail. Good intentions and effort will help you accomplish anything. Very sweet. And then we're not leaving it there. We are pulling even more cards, even more final advice from the tea leaf oracle. So, Spirit, final advice, guidance for pile 5. Is there anything that one flung across the desk? That's a lot, but I love you guys, pile 5, so I'm going to take it all. I'm feeling generous. Okay, speed run. Here we go. We have shark, take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. Yeah, I do feel like that's coming out, especially if there's a job who's kind of been pressuring you to sign a contract, or someone who's trying to really take you on a date or is being a little too forward. Just be wary. Just be wary. Trust your intuition. We have the candle. You will be shown the way. Yeah, I definitely do think Spirit is leading you and guiding you. I don't think they're gonna let you fall astray this month or whenever you're watching it. We have hard work ahead. We have boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. And then we have bridge. Successfully overcoming a problem. So yeah, I feel like, especially if you guys have been just feeling very sluggish or worn down, especially by all of this transformative energy, I think you're getting your mojo back, and you're going to be able to focus yourself on your goals, and especially if this is a career thing, a career blessing coming to you, you're going to be able to overcome any limits or blocks you've been facing. But, okay. Pile 5, that is all I have for you today for this reading. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to give me a like, feel free to comment, and feel free to subscribe. We'd love to have you join the Mellow Yellow Tarot family anytime for future readings, of course, in the future. Comments are my favorite way to interact with everyone, so I try my absolute diggity dang hardest to respond when people comment. But that is all I have for you, Pile 5. I'm gonna leave that there. Hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed good morning, afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, Pile 5. Hello, Pile 6. Thanks so much for being here with me today for your reading. My cat almost knocked over the mic. Thanks so much for being with me here for your reading today. If you chose Pile 6, you made it to the right reading. And I just realized for you and Pile 5, I have forgotten to put your tarot card down. Can you tell I filmed these over the course of a few days? Let me see what your tarot card was. So you guys got the Likely Creator. So if you chose the Likely Creator and Pile 6, then you made it here. Let's go ahead and flip over these bad boys for the energy you'll be in to receive this blessing. We have the Dragon. Very cool. I think this is its first time making an appearance on my channel. Then we have the Thread. And we have the Warrior. Okay, Pile 6, last but not least. I'm going to talk a lot about Avatar: The Last Airbender here in this pile. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the character Zuko, and a quick fill-in for those of you who don't watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Zuko is the Fire Lord Prince who was banished from coming home until he captured the Avatar for his basically really abusive and evil father. Okay, so now that I kind of filled you in, Pile 6, are you okay? I genuinely just want to sit down with you and give you tea and listen to your problems and let you know that you are so enough. Because let's talk about what you've probably been going through leading up to this dragon energy. A lot of you have grown up with caregivers or in a system of control, aggression, and oppression that maybe left you with a distorted view of the world. A very strong example coming to my mind is, let's just say, this is a very strong example coming to my mind is someone who grew up in a very, very small town and grew up homeschooled by their parents. Think of someone who really hasn't had much contact with the outside world or opposing viewpoints. Perhaps their caregivers still held problematic and toxic beliefs about the world and made sure to instill that into their child. And this is just like a random example coming to my mind, but imagine there's a family who believes that people who eat waffles are horrible human beings who can't be trusted. So then let's say a kid in this family who is representing you decided to go work for a pancake factory in Maple City once they grew up, right? But when they're in the city, they start meeting people who like waffles more than pancakes, and they start to realize that, hey, these people aren't anything like what my parents described. And sometimes this kid or you might start to see yourself liking waffles a bit more. And this can become a huge internal battle because we always want to believe that our parents or our caregivers are good people. We want to think that they know more about the world than us and that their perspective is right. But oftentimes we find out that our caregivers, our parents, they are just as human as us. And they can believe in really harmful things that contribute nothing but pain to the world. And on top of feeling a sort of betrayal from your parents, then comes the notion of, oh goodness, what don't I know? What are there more foods I like that I'm not supposed to, or that I think I'm not supposed to? Is everything I've been told a lie? Or even, oh God, I've really hurt a lot of people unknowingly. Maybe you come to a point where you're like, I've actually perpetuated a lot of harm in this world from what I was told to believe and what I blindly followed. And I don't want you to get like harpy on yourself about this, because especially if you grow up and this is kind of all you knew, that's so normal and human to come to this realization of, oh my goodness, what have I done? And you don't need to shame yourself or get mad at yourself for believing things that you used to believe. Because sometimes we're like indoctrinated into believing certain ways. Or sometimes, I really hope this isn't the case, but sometimes you're abused if you don't think or say or believe in certain things in a given household. So not everything here is about self-blame. I just want to say that. It takes a lot of humility and openness to recognize where our perspectives might not always be right. And the fact that you've even reached a point where you're willing to look in the mirror and say, I want to learn and I want to grow and see what else is out there. It's incredible. So many people stop themselves because they make the same realizations that you are right now, but they're scared of seeing who they are. They don't want to face the feelings of shame and guilt they have been holding from toxic beliefs. And instead, they can sometimes double down even more on their harmful beliefs because it's easier than change. There's a reason that ignorance is bliss, guys. And I want to say, I'm proud of you for taking the necessary steps in order to add more love back into this world. You are doing the hard, transformative work here, Pile 6. And that kind of leads us to this dragon energy that you'll be in for this blessing. There's a fire to transcend who you thought you were, and a fearlessness to learn and become the best you, with a major focus on serving the world. Zuko, going back to Avatar The Last Airbender, Zuko always thought his life's purpose was to capture the Avatar and restore his honor, but throughout his journey, he realized his purpose was actually to help the Avatar take down the harmful and powerful structures his own father put in place, and to help build a new world as the new Fire Lord. This is a lot of lore, I'm sorry, but this is how I can speak. If you haven't watched Avatar, it's on Netflix. Please watch it. They're making a live action, and it comes out in February, so it's the perfect time to get back into Avatar. By the end of Zuko's character arc, he realized his honor never really left him. Honor is not something that you can take away, it's not something to be given, and it's not even something to be earned. Honor is always within you. And you are the only one able to call yourself honorable. And that's the thing Zuko was missing. He was going after what others would call honorable, not what actually made him feel honorable. And the thing I love the most about Zuko is how human he is. Watching him make mistake after mistake after mistake, almost reaching understanding and then transcending past patterns, and then he'll just fall down again, only to rise again like the phoenix. His path is so much of what it is to be human, especially when you grow up in a world full of harm. especially when that harm is disguised as truth. Another thing I want to note here, Zuko was initially the villain. He was the antagonist. He is literally Aang's foil. And by the end, the world could not have been saved without Zuko. Without the whole group of all these different individuals who have different paths coming together to work for good. Don't judge yourself for where you've been. Isotero here on YouTube recently said in a reading, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. And you really may struggle with your self-perception for a while as you start to unlearn things, but it's important to know true and genuine change is possible. And you're a perfect example of that, Pile 6. The blessing coming to you, or the blessings, I should say, they're really powerful. It's having the power and confidence to take a stand for what's not right. This can be on a small or large scale, but you are seeing how your power and fighting spirit can be used for good. And I do think whatever you're starting is a movement. This could be unionizing a workplace. This could be starting a petition to kick some bad person off of a board. It does feel like if you're needing strength in numbers, you will be receiving it. This could also be you giving voice to someone who is no longer here. And this is a very specific message, so only take it if it resonates, of course. But if you have a friend or someone close to you that was harmed and they no longer have a way, or maybe they're incapable of advocating for themselves, I think you will be taking on an active role to be their voice. And you will make sure that their story is told. You will have people be inspired by this, and change will happen. You're really going to be put in places that use your natural talents of strength and wisdom. Some of you are legit lawyers that will be winning a case that hits home for you. I feel a lot of Libra energy here, a lot of justice happening. And I mean, the South Node is in Libra, so themes of justice are resurfacing for the next year and a half. And even more here, the North Node is in Aries. I do feel a very fiery energy from this group. That's Leo, Aries, Sag. Rainbows are a theme through all these cards as well, which reminds me of the Ten of Cups in Tarot. I think another blessing coming to you is getting to see life on the other side of this challenging time. I think back to all the women who've come before me that couldn't go to school, who couldn't work, all of the women who fought for me, and the generations of women to come to have a life that these past women dreamt of. And I think of how lucky I am to be alive and especially living in the US during the time that I am, even though there are so many things wrong in the US. Don't even get me started on my opinions there, because I don't think y'all want to hear me go on like a 4-hour long rant. But I am lucky, because just 50 years ago, I wouldn't have had these opportunities. I would never have even dreamt of the day where I could have done this, you know? Maybe 50 is a little less because we are in 2024, so that would put us 1975, but I mean, I think in like it wasn't until like 1976 or 1978 that women could have no fault divorce, like, or maybe that when they could have their own credit card. Like, these are very recent changes that I think we as a society need to go back and acknowledge. Not saying that we need to stop the work and the progress that we're making, but we have done and made a lot of change in a very short amount of time, and there's been a lot of progress forward, but that doesn't mean we're done. We have such a far way to go. I remind myself of not only the miles ahead that we have to go for women, but also for people of color, the LGBTQ plus community, those disabled, the elderly, veterans, mental health, and addiction. These are all things that we as humanity need to work on. And I think you're definitely a part of that group that is going to enact and inspire change. And I think you'll be around to see some of these changes being made. And another blessing coming to you is a return to what actually matters: the love, the connection, the care. Humanity needs that more than it ever needed money and hustle culture. So, pile 6. If that resonated, let's go ahead and hop over to the tarot portion of your reading. That was a lot. That was a big chunky chunk, but I just feel inspired by your guys' energy. I really do. I feel like you guys could be fixed signs. That's Aquarius, Taurus, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. Pluto is shifting into the sign of Aquarius actually today that I'm filming your pile, which indicates major change for the collective over the next 20 years. But, okay, let's get into your tarot portion, why don't we? So, Spirit, how can pile 6 align their energy or stay aligned with this energy to receive these blessings? How can pile 6 stay aligned? Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles. It's kind of sideways. I'm going to do an upright or reverse. Upright. Okay. Yeah, glad I did that because I felt like it wanted to be upright, but I didn't want to just like cherry pick things. Okay, so now we're going to look at timing. When will pile 6 receive this blessing? Spirit, when will... Okay. We've got the World. And we're also going to roll some Astro Dice. When will pile 6 receive this blessing? We have Gemini. We have the North Node. We had the South Node pop out in another pile. And we have 6 in your pile 6. Isn't that cool? So, okay. We'll cover that in a second. And then, how is this blessing helping pile 6? Please, Spirit. How is this blessing helping pile 6? We got 2. So we have the Lovers and we have the Ace of Pentacles. And I do also want to note, these are all coming out upright. I don't think we've had a single pile yet this far to get all of their cards upright. So let's see if you're the lucky duck. And is there anything else to be aware of, Spirit? Moment of truth, is it upright? It's upright. We got the Ace of Cups. Okay. And then after we tackle this, we will have a portion where you're able to ask me a yes or no question, whatever you'd like to ask, and I'll give you the answer. So maybe start thinking of what you want to ask here. How to align your energy or stay aligned to receive these blessings. King of Pentacles is not only a strong character in business. They're not only they don't just have their finances in order. They don't just have the home and the wealth and the abundance that everyone pictures. They've reached this because they've done the work. They've gone internally and they've seen their shadow. They've acknowledged their shadow. They've incorporated their shadow, and they've learned that to be a kind, a generous, an understanding, and empathetic leader means to know that A, I am not perfect, and B, if I reach a place where I have all of this wealth of knowledge or this literal wealth or this abundance, I should be helping others to reach that place as well. The King of Pentacles is all about sharing. And I feel like if you've had this blocked off energy from who you could trust, I think there are reasons, like, for example, because of this reading, don't just go out all willy-nilly and trusting everyone. But I do think Spirit is coming through to say there are going to be, I just heard suitors, and maybe we'll get there soon with the Lovers, but I feel like there are people coming to you that will make great, not only friends, but business partners, lovers. These are people you can trust, but it also means you have to share. And you have to be vulnerable. That's another thing with the King of Pentacles. He's mastered vulnerability, compassion, empathy, because he knows that you can't rule the material world without both, you know? You can't gain mountains of success without having the humility to know that, like, I feel like this lion here has gone on a journey, and what I'm being shown right now is even this prideful lion has once thought that he couldn't make it or that he wasn't enough, and to go through those experiences are what build character and what makes you relatable and what makes people admire you, just like Zuko, to fall and to get back up and to fall again. I think this is a strong message of humility, humanity, and just understanding your humanness and being vulnerable with yourself so you can be vulnerable with others. That's the way you can stay aligned to receive this blessing. As far as timing, so we have the World. This could mean that you are traveling when energies of this blessing kind of start to show up. This could also mean some sort of worldly event that is significant to you could happen. Like, I'm trying to think of a worldly event. The first thing coming to my head is because I work for news, and our sports guys are really awesome, and they talk about sports every Saturday night for like an entire show. And so I was just being shown, like, maybe this is around the Super Bowl, that's not really a worldly event, but maybe this is when Taylor Swift releases her next tour dates. I don't know. But, like, something on a world scale could be happening that kind of marks the start of this energy for you. Another thing, maybe there's a country you've always wanted to visit, but they have, like, I don't know if any countries have this, but maybe they have a regulation that people who are allergic to shellfish can't come, like, I don't know, but they have some weird rule or regulation, or maybe you've been waiting for COVID things, and things are finally opening up, and it's kind of like a green light for you to move forward. The other things, the 6th house is all about day-to-day routines. It's your job, it's your health. So I feel like you will be maintaining your health or monitoring your health at this time, specifically lung health, because we have Gemini. Gemini is an air sign, and I'm just being shown lungs, specifically because Gemini also is all about communication, so speaking, ear, nose, throat, lungs, all of that. You might be going to an ear, nose, throat doctor. The other thing, when the sun transits Gemini, which is in like May, June, that could be significant. Or I'm also hearing, like, because the North Node was in Gemini, I believe in like 2019, maybe 2020, around that time. I'll put it up if I'm wrong, but something you were hoping for or doing around then could be significant, or coming back around, that could kind of mark something for you. I also think this talks about this will come around once you realize some sort of gift you have for communication, or some sort of move that you're making towards communication and other, because I feel like Gemini is a very other sign, and I know Geminis get a bad rap, but Geminis traditionally love people. They are a very, very people person, So I feel like you could be going through some sort of shift towards the collective, towards humanity. We've kind of already tackled that. The other thing is, like, this could be talking about 6 months. Could be 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days. The only other thing, I think, with the World, this could be talking about divine timing. Like, there's not a set date in place, but once you reach those energies, or once some of these things kind of start happening, that's when it'll start, so it's kind of up in the air right now, but as long as you maintain your King of Pentacles energy and you continue down on the path that you are, you're going to be okay. Now, as far as how this blessing will help you, we've got the Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles. So not only do I think, and also the number 6 could be significant because we have the Lovers, which is number 6. We have 6 here and your pile 6. I feel like not only will this be helpful in your career or any sort of material gain that you're trying to experience, but I also think this blessing is going to be a main catalyst, or like a stepping stone to someone you love, or someone you will love, like a major partner. This could mean you're meeting your person and you guys are going to start a business adventure together, someone that you can build wealth together with, someone that you are going to find you can bounce ideas off of really well, because Gemini is also a very big ideas thing to me. But overall, I also think this is going to help awaken your heart chakra, or unlock your heart space in ways that haven't been able to be unlocked before. And I also heard, this is something random, but the person you're meeting is going to, like, unlock something in you that just makes you want to be vulnerable. You could watch out for that, but also I do still think that we have free will, and so you got to monitor yourself, because not everyone is gonna wait around, you know. Then we have 4, anything to be aware of. We have the Ace of Cups, and I think this is just talking about the return to love that is so important here, the return to humanity, the return to the collective. Definitely, you guys need to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender and study that show, or just study Zuko's arc, or maybe just read up on him. You guys might really resonate with him. He is my absolute favorite character in Avatar, aside from Uncle Iroh, but everyone loves Uncle Iroh. What? I just feel like it's time for you to open up and to be the beautiful you that you are. Of course, with boundaries. We always want to maintain boundaries, but it's time for you to shine also, because there's like lights illuminating this leaf here, this cup. But I'm hitting a little bit of a dry end, so we are going to go into that portion of the reading where you can ask me anything, and I'll give you a yes or no. Do keep in mind this is for a general audience, so I apologize if this isn't 110% accurate to you, but keep that in mind. Okay, maybe say it out loud. Send it my way, Spirit. Yes or no for pile 6? Yes or no? What is the answer to pile 6's question? Okay, we've got the 4 of Cups reversed. Yes or no? One more. And the Queen of Cups upright. Give me 1 second. Okay, I feel like you guys are asking about either someone specific on your mind, or a situation or something you're contemplating going after, but you're just not sure if it's in alignment with you. Spirit is coming through to say, yes, this is absolutely in alignment with you, and it's in alignment with your heart, and it also will remind you of someone nurturing or mothering in your life that, like, if you have a bad relationship with your mom, this isn't going to remind you specifically of her, but it's going to remind you of someone who has motherly energy, someone who you look up to for nurturing guidance or support, care, or this person or this opportunity is going to make you feel that way. And with the 4 of Cups reversed, I'm gonna read this for you. You should guard against apathy or becoming so self-absorbed that opportunities and offers of aid are missed. So I feel like this is almost an urgent message from Spirit, pleading for you to go after this thing, and to let them, if this is a person, let them know how you feel, or just keep seeing them, to go after this career opportunity. This is an absolute 100% yes. Okay, we are coming down to the wire. We are going to close off with some final guidance. So, Spirit, final messages for pile 6. What do we have to tell pile 6? What are the final messages for pile 6? I'll take that. So we have, I have the courage and strength to follow my truest path. Yes. My creativity is sparked when I choose love as my motivation. Yeah, we've been talking about love this entire time. Toad, seek solitude to contemplate spiritual and emotional matters. You are becoming the new you. And we have find compassion for all beings, and compassion finds you, just like we said with the King of Pentacles. And then we have 111, new beginnings on the horizon. Yay! I'm so excited for you guys. And we're not done yet, I swear. I'm just grabbing this over here. Okay, Spirit, with the Tea Leaf Oracle, last messages or guidance for pile 6. Last messages and guidance for pile 6. Let's just get a couple more. Okay, that's fine. You guys got a lot. I've just been feeling generous. So, okay. We have Camel, persevere and you will overcome problems. We have Tulip, great passion. Lobster, financial pinch. We have Dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past, kind of like what we said around that North Node and Gemini time. We have the Goldfish, increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. We have Man, dealings or relationship with a man. Maybe you're asking about a man. If not, you don't have to take that. Then we have Hat, you will be playing a different role. Okay, pile 6, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, feel free to give me a like. Feel free to comment. I love reading comments. That's my favorite way to interact with you. And you can also subscribe so you never miss any future videos from the Mellow Yellow Tarot family. But I'm going to leave that there for you. I hope you have a wonderful good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, pile 6. I almost called you pile 4. Bye.